Theo extends his paw with a confident smile, offering a formal contract. His bright green eyes and friendly demeanor contrast with the serious nature of the deal. Dongshik, taken aback, questions the proposal while cautiously examining the parchment. His expression shows curiosity and hesitation, indicating he understands the importance of what Theo is offering. Theo calmly confirms the contract, holding firm in his stance. His composed demeanor reinforces that this is a serious transaction, rather than just a casual agreement. The contract details are revealed. 50 million won will be sent to the families of Korean survivors in South Korea. Dongshik looks surprised as he realizes the unexpected scale of this deal. Theo adds another condition. Dongshik must also send word that Sejun is safe and doing well. The contract takes on more emotional weight, showing Theo's concern for Sejun's family. Dongshik is further surprised as Theo finalizes the terms. Payment will be made in 50 tower coins and 200 magical cherry tomatoes. The sheer quantity of tomatoes spilling from Theo's bag emphasizes the value of this deal. Dongshik stares at the overflowing basket of cherry tomatoes that Theo presents. His expression shifts from curiosity to amazement as he recognizes the value of these fruits. A realization dawns on him. This simple basket of cherry tomatoes holds the power to restore his image as a dependable father. The panel highlights his excitement, with his clenched fist and determined expression emphasizing how much this means to him. While processing the contract, Dongshik questions who Park Sejun is. Since the message is being sent to a family, he assumes Sejun might be a survivor unable to leave the tower. Theo hesitates for a moment, clearly aware that revealing too much could cause complications. His composed yet slightly cautious expression suggests that he's carefully choosing his words. Sejun, understanding the situation, steps in and reassures Theo. His confident posture shows that he trusts Theo to handle things appropriately. Theo, now in full control of the situation, nods in understanding. His glowing green eyes and calm smile confirm that he's ready to proceed while keeping Sejun's secret safe. Theo confidently explains that he is running errands for Park Sejun, revealing that Sejun saved his life on the 40th floor. Dongshik, hearing this, looks surprised as he processes the unexpected information. Dongshik reacts in shock, his expression shifting to disbelief. He questions if there is really a hunter who has already made it to the 40th floor, something that seems unheard of. Curiosity takes over as Dongshik speculates whether Sejun was the one who discovered the magical cherry tomatoes. His interest in the mysterious farmer grows, realizing this could be someone far beyond ordinary. Theo remains composed but playful, stating that Sejun has many secrets. His words add to the mystery surrounding Sejun, further piquing Dongshik's curiosity. Dongshik, deep in thought, acknowledges how difficult it is to even reach the 39th floor. His serious expression shows his realization that Sejun's accomplishments defy what he previously believed possible. Dongshik struggles to comprehend the situation, realizing that no official records mention a hunter reaching the 40th floor. His furrowed brows and tense posture indicate both shock and intrigue at this revelation. Dongshik envisions Sejun standing on a cliff at sunset, looking like a powerful and untethered figure. The imagery highlights Sejun as a solo hunter who doesn't belong to any guild, making him a rare and valuable talent. Recognizing the opportunity, Dongshik sees a chance to build a connection with Sejun, someone who could be a great asset. He contemplates how forming a relationship now could be beneficial in the long run. His thoughts shift toward business, realizing that by securing a deal, they could monopolize the distribution of the magical cherry tomatoes. This could give them an edge in the tower's economy. Determined, Dongshik agrees to the contract. He stands in front of Theo, signaling his willingness to enter the deal, ready to finalize the arrangement. Theo, ever businesslike, simply instructs him to sign the contract. His casual yet confident demeanor reinforces that he holds the upper hand in this negotiation. Dongshik signs the contract, officially sealing the deal. The paper bears both his and Theo's signatures, solidifying their new partnership. As the contract is finalized, a system notification appears, confirming the agreement's success. Dongshik looks satisfied, while Theo remains composed, as if already expecting this outcome. Dongshik acknowledges that the contract remains valid even outside the tower. However, he insists on verifying the message's accuracy before delivering it. He wants to ensure Sejun's family receives the correct information about his well-being. He sets a time frame of 10 days to confirm the details and safely deliver the news. His expression is serious, showing his commitment to upholding his part of the deal. With firm resolve, Dongshik, now identified as part of the Phoenix Guild, boldly takes responsibility for personally delivering Sejun's message. His stance and determined gaze highlight the weight of this duty. The scene transitions, shifting away from the intense moment to the rabbits, who are busy constructing a house. Their small, diligent figures emphasize their teamwork and effort in their new home-building project. A rabbit hops excitedly, seemingly proud of their progress. Another rabbit joins in, carrying materials, as they continue to work on their shelter with enthusiasm. A voice calls out, checking if the rabbits have finished their construction. The question lingers as the scene captures their efforts, leaving a sense of curiosity about their progress. Sejun arrives at the rabbit's new home, following behind the black rabbit and another excited rabbit that rush ahead to show him their work. The atmosphere is filled with anticipation. Sejun's eyes widen with excitement as he sees what the rabbits have built. His expression shifts to pure amazement, impressed by the effort and craftsmanship they put into their home. The rabbits proudly present their finished house, a sturdy, well-constructed shelter with an earthen design and a green onion-covered roof. The structure looks both durable and cozy, standing as a testament to their teamwork. Sejun admires the effort behind the construction, noting that the rabbits must have worked hard, especially the ones who handled the heavy materials like stones and dirt. His respect for their determination grows. Two exhausted rabbits lean against each other, clearly worn out from their labor. Their small sighs of relief show their satisfaction in completing the house, as they bask in the accomplishment of their hard work. Sejun notices that the rabbits have even built a separate room specifically for resting during work breaks. A rabbit is seen comfortably sleeping inside, demonstrating the thoughtfulness behind their construction. Sejun, clearly impressed, expresses his admiration for the rabbit's ability to create such a convenient home. He acknowledges that having a space like that for himself would be great. Looking at the hard-working rabbits, Sejun pats their heads in appreciation. His expression is warm, genuinely proud of their dedication and effort in building their new homes. Time has passed since the rabbits moved out of his cave, and now, the younger rabbits have begun constructing their own homes. Meanwhile, the couple rabbits continue to stay close to one another, maintaining their bond. With excitement, Sejun raises his arm and suggests celebrating their progress with a housewarming party. The rabbits happily respond, eager to enjoy the moment after all their hard work. Sejun raises a cup, proposing a toast to the hard-working rabbits who put in the effort to build their homes. His expression is bright, showing his genuine appreciation for their dedication. He hands a drink to the black rabbit as a token of gratitude for its continued support in providing high-quality fish. The black rabbit accepts it, reinforcing their bond of mutual trust and cooperation. Sejun watches in amazement as the rabbits cleverly use a carved-out carrot as a cup to hold their juice. Their resourcefulness impresses him, and he acknowledges how intelligent they are. Taking a sip, Sejun reflects on the drink, finding it slightly sweet but surprisingly good. His expression shows satisfaction, and he appreciates the rabbits' creativity in making their own version of drinking vessels. The rabbits, holding their carrot cups, happily sip their drinks. Their relaxed and joyful demeanor creates a warm and festive atmosphere, making the housewarming celebration a success. Sejun takes another sip of his drink while the rabbits continue enjoying their celebration. Everything seems peaceful, but his expression subtly shifts as he begins to notice something unusual. His gaze sharpens with suspicion as he watches the rabbit couple. He finds it strange that they suddenly forced their children to leave, making him question their motives. Sejun speculates aloud, realizing that the rabbits might be expecting more baby siblings soon. His words cause a surprised reaction from the younger rabbits, who seem clueless about the situation. Just as he processes his thoughts, a system notification suddenly appears before him. His eyes widen in surprise as the system informs him that the seed store has been unlocked, hinting at a new farming-related opportunity ahead. Sejun realizes that the seed store opening date has arrived. He had completely forgotten about it, but now he's eager to see what's available. His excitement grows as he prepares to explore his new options. A glowing system window appears before him, confirming that the seed store is officially open. He presses the interface, ready to browse the selection of seeds. 3 purchase options appear on the screen. Potato seeds for 50 tower coins, strawberry seeds for 50 tower coins, and lettuce seeds for 10 tower coins. Sejun's face lights up with excitement when he sees lettuce seeds in the store. He immediately thinks about making sandwiches, but there isn't any bread in the tower, making him reconsider his plan. Looking over the remaining seed options, potatoes and strawberries, he realizes that he has enough money to buy only one. This forces him to carefully consider which one would be more beneficial for his farm. Sejun enthusiastically makes his decision, expressing his love for carbohydrates. Without hesitation, he selects the potato seeds from the store, prioritizing a stable food source for his farm. A system message confirms his purchase of 100 potato seeds for 50 tower coins. The notification also explains that seed shop loyalty points can be earned with each purchase, allowing access to higher-tier seeds over time. Another message informs Sejun that he has unlocked the one-star seed shop and can now view available higher-grade seeds in the future. A bright light suddenly flashes in front of him, and a large bag of potato seeds appears out of thin air, descending from above. Sejun is caught off guard as the bag falls straight toward his face, his startled expression showing his complete lack of preparation for the sudden delivery. The heavy bag of potato seeds crashes onto the ground, causing a loud impact that startles Sejun. He barely dodges it, stumbling backward as dust and small debris fly into the air. Sejun, still catching his breath, looks at the bag in disbelief. The sudden drop scared him, making him feel like he barely escaped getting flattened. Nearby, the rabbits are startled, their ears perked up as they let out panicked squeaks. They look at Sejun, concerned about what just happened. Sejun apologizes with a sheepish laugh, realizing he made a scene in front of them. He then turns his attention back to the bag, eager to see what he got. He opens the bag and pulls out a round, plump potato, marveling at its appearance. It looks fresh and appetizing, making him excited to plant and harvest more as soon as possible. Sejun imagines the different ways he can cook the fresh potatoes he just got. Steamed, boiled, or even potato pancakes. His enthusiasm is contagious, as he looks forward to enjoying a good meal. The rabbits respond excitedly, their ears twitching as they join in his enthusiasm. Their energetic squeaks show that they too are looking forward to the food. Sejun, feeling accomplished, raises his fist in the air, declaring that they'll take a break for the day and start planting the potatoes tomorrow. The rabbits happily cheer along. As he looks at the potato in his hand, Sejun suddenly thinks of Theo, wondering how the wandering merchant is doing. His expression shifts to curiosity, thinking that Theo must have finished his task by now. The scene transitions to a bustling merchant district, filled with colorful buildings and lively trade activity. This is the Central Merchants District, where Theo is likely handling business. The Central Merchants District is lively with various species of humanoid animals and people walking around. The streets are decorated with colorful banners, and merchants are busy selling their goods. The diverse crowd gives the place a bustling, welcoming atmosphere. Theo, the wandering merchant cat, moves confidently through the marketplace, carrying a bag of supplies. His ears perk up, showing that he's carefully keeping track of everything he needs to buy. Theo mentally goes over his checklist. He has already packed blankets, pillows, and eating utensils. Now, he just needs to find a frying pan to complete his shopping. Theo, grinning with satisfaction, holds up a sturdy frying pan and a small pot, pleased with his choices. His tail sways happily, showing that he's confident these items will be useful. At a stall run by a feline merchant, Theo asks for the total cost of his purchase. The shopkeeper, a gray-furred cat in an apron, casually calculates the price, offering him a deal of 1.6 tower coins for everything. Theo, wearing a bright, confident smile, asks the feline shopkeeper for a discount. He holds up his newly picked frying pan and pot, expecting a bargain with his usual charismatic approach. The shopkeeper, a gruff-looking cat in an apron, seems puzzled by Theo's direct request. He mutters to himself, surprised by Theo's unusual way of haggling, just demanding a discount outright. Deciding to humor him, the shopkeeper reluctantly lowers the price to 1.5 tower coins, calling it a special deal just for Theo. His expression suggests he's still wary of the wandering merchant's persistence. Theo, however, isn't satisfied yet. With an even wider grin, he pushes for an even bigger discount, using his merchant instincts to try and shave off more coins. The shopkeeper panics, shaking his head and refusing to lower the price any further, worried he won't make any profit. Theo, playing his final card, casually threatens to take his business elsewhere, turning away dramatically. The shopkeeper, now desperate not to lose a sale, grabs Theo's arm in a hurry, realizing he might have just lost a customer. The shopkeeper, flustered and panicked, yells out in frustration as he watches Theo walk away. He can't believe the wandering merchant is actually about to leave without making a deal. Theo, with a smug meow, turns back and challenges the shopkeeper, making it clear that if he doesn't lower the price, there's no deal. His confidence is unwavering as he pushes for a better bargain. The shopkeeper, clearly defeated, groans and reluctantly agrees to lower the price to 1.3 tower coins, but Theo pushes further, demanding 1.2 instead. Realizing he's completely lost the negotiation, the shopkeeper grudgingly agrees to the 1.2 tower coins price, visibly exasperated but unable to argue any further. Theo happily hands over the payment, securing the deal on his terms. He gets exactly what he wants while the shopkeeper watches in disbelief at how he got outplayed. As Theo walks off victoriously, the shopkeeper sighs, realizing he just got hustled. He mutters to himself, admitting that he thought Theo was just some amateur, but in reality, he had been dealing with a true merchant master. Just as the shopkeeper thinks the ordeal is over, something catches his attention, making him pause with a confused expression. The shopkeeper notices a strange mark on one of the coins left on the table. His expression shifts to confusion as he inspects it closely, sensing that something about it isn't normal. Meanwhile, Theo is panting heavily, having rushed away from the shop. He peeks from behind a wall, his ears perked up, as if checking to see if he successfully pulled off his negotiation tactics without any issues. Theo suddenly bursts into excitement, his eyes gleaming with pride. He clenches his paws in triumph, realizing he has finally made a purchase without being tricked or overpaying. Overwhelmed by his success, Theo shouts out loud, celebrating his accomplishment. He declares that, for once, he wasn't an idiot while buying something, as if it were a historic moment in his life. A mysterious figure observes Theo from a distance, commenting on his behavior. The figure notes that Theo's victory might be short-lived, suggesting that his problems aren't over yet. Sejun confidently raises his hand, as if giving a lecture. He looks amused, sharing what seems to be important bargaining wisdom that can help avoid being scammed while shopping. A market scene unfolds, showing a raccoon merchant offering a price while a customer, an anthropomorphic sheep, listens. The first rule of Sejun's bargaining strategy appears: always ask for a discount, no matter what price they offer. The second rule is demonstrated as the sheep walks away when the merchant refuses to lower the price. The visual emphasizes the importance of leaving if the seller doesn't budge, making them reconsider the deal. The third rule unfolds: if the merchant calls the customer back after they walk away, a discount is almost guaranteed. The sheep, now returning, looks pleased as the merchant, realizing they might lose a sale, starts negotiating. Sejun smirks, finishing his lesson, emphasizing that just remembering these simple steps can make anyone a skilled bargainer. Theo struts down the marketplace with an air of confidence, feeling proud of his newfound bargaining skills. His tail flicks with satisfaction as he fully embraces his role as a skilled wandering merchant who knows how to get the best deals. Standing near a shop stall, Theo boasts about an item, claiming it's from outside the tower, a rare and valuable claim in this world. His expression is smug, expecting an immediate reaction from those around him. A surprised merchant, wearing a dark blue robe, reacts with disbelief upon hearing the words "from the outside," clearly shocked at the possibility of obtaining an item beyond the tower's confines. A mysterious green-skinned merchant, wearing a fedora and a dark trench coat, whispers in secrecy to someone, revealing that low-level merchants are being manipulated with this kind of information. His expression is smug and calculating, as if he's setting up a scheme. Theo's fur stands on end as he realizes what's happening. This shady merchant is a scammer. His eyes widen in shock as the revelation hits him, feeling a mix of frustration and urgency at the situation. The green-skinned scammer merchant, Skaram, is seen in the middle of a shady deal with a hooded figure in the bustling market. His sly grin and scheming posture indicate that he's up to no good, deceiving yet another victim. Theo, standing at a distance, notices Skaram's actions and clenches his paws in frustration. His fur bristles with anger as he realizes that this scammer has been tricking beginner merchants just like him. Theo, filled with righteous fury, calls out Skaram's name, his voice echoing through the street. His determined expression shows that he's not going to let this scammer continue his deception any longer. Scarum turns in shock, his beady eyes widening as he hears Theo calling him out. The hooded merchant next to him also reacts in surprise, sensing the sudden tension in the air. Theo stands confidently, declaring that he has finally found Scarum. His stance is firm, his tail flicking aggressively, signaling that he's here to confront the scammer head-on. Scarum stares in disbelief, blurting out Theo's name in shock and panic. His nervous reaction suggests that he recognizes Theo and might have something to hide from him. Scarum greets Theo with exaggerated enthusiasm, acting as if they are old friends. His expression is overly friendly, but his eyes shift nervously. He tries to talk his way out of trouble, insisting that the items he sold to Theo were good quality products and implying that he has done nothing wrong. Theo, not falling for Scaram's act, steps forward aggressively and shoves him away. His expression is fierce as he demands Scarum stop pretending and calls him out for being a fraud. The hooded merchant nearby watches in confusion, caught between the two. Scarum acts shocked and offended, pretending to be innocent as he questions Theo's accusation. His dramatic response makes it seem like Theo is overreacting, but Theo isn't buying it. Theo exposes Scarum's scam, pointing out that Scarum overpriced the items he sold, pretending to give Theo a good deal when, in reality, he was taking advantage of him. He tells the hooded merchant not to believe Scarum's lies, warning that he is just another victim in the making. Theo brings up a specific example of Scaram's fraud, a tumbler that Scarum had claimed was a rare collector's item from another world. His eyes burn with frustration as he tells the merchant that it's actually a cheap item with no special value. Theo pushes further, explaining that the tumbler is mass-produced, causing its price to drop significantly over time. His confident stance and unwavering tone make it clear. Scarum is a con artist, and Theo isn't letting him scam anyone else. Theo angrily exposes Scaram's deception, calling out his so-called magical items as nothing more than worthless junk. His eyes are burning with frustration as he waves his paw dismissively, rejecting any claims of special enchantments. Scarum panics internally, his face contorting in shock as he wonders how Theo managed to figure out the truth. Beads of sweat form on his forehead, and his wide, nervous eyes show his growing anxiety. Trying to weasel his way out, Scarum laughs nervously, claiming it's all a misunderstanding. He forces a smile, attempting to smooth things over and regain control of the situation. Theo doesn't give him a chance, calling for the guards and alerting the nearby crowd that a scam artist is at work. Bystanders begin to murmur, their attention drawn to the confrontation. Realizing he's in serious trouble, Scaram's face twists in rage and frustration. He clenches his fist, glaring at Theo with hatred as he vows revenge before turning to escape. Scaram bolts down the street, his coat flaring behind him as he sprints through the marketplace. Theo watches as the con artist desperately flees, knowing he has completely shattered his scam. Theo reassures the hooded figure, telling them not to blindly trust what Scarum said. His posture is relaxed but firm, showing confidence after exposing the fraud. The hooded figure thanks Theo, expressing relief and gratitude for his intervention. Their body language suggests they were wary but now feel safer. Theo enthusiastically introduces himself, his face lighting up with a smug, proud smile. He stands tall, exuding confidence as he takes credit for saving the situation. The hooded figure processes Theo's name, confirming his identity with a curious tone. Their reaction suggests they've heard of Theo before. Theo gives one final warning before turning away, advising the hooded figure to be more careful and avoid getting scammed again. His tone carries a hint of authority, as if he's enjoying the role of an experienced merchant. As Theo walks away, the hooded figure's eyes glow red beneath the shadow of their hood, revealing a hidden agenda. A wide shot of the market shows the hooded figure standing alone before they issue a mysterious command. Mission complete. Everyone, reveal yourselves. Their words indicate that this was all part of a larger scheme involving multiple people. The hooded figure glances up sharply, their posture tense as if sensing something important. The background remains bright and calm, contrasting the rising tension. Two more hooded figures step forward, standing firmly with a heavy presence. Their dark cloaks give off an ominous aura, emphasizing their authority and seriousness. The leader of the hooded group speaks in a commanding tone, questioning what's going on. Their stance is intimidating, clearly frustrated as they address their subordinates. One of the agents, a bear-like figure, bows slightly, appearing nervous as they apologize for the unexpected interference. They assure the leader that their team had been monitoring the area, but didn't anticipate Theo's involvement. The agent continues, admitting their mistake and acknowledging that they have no excuse for failing to control the situation. Their voice carries unease, as if they fear the leader's reaction. A fox-eared agent lowers their head in shame, visibly stressed by the failure. The atmosphere is thick with tension, suggesting that the consequences of this blunder will not be light. A commanding voice calls out a name with authority. Agent Zirath. The scene shifts focus to a fox-eared figure with piercing red eyes, wearing a uniform and a badge, exuding an aura of strict discipline. The sunlight behind them creates a dramatic effect, highlighting their presence. A text box introduces Zirath, an elite agent of the highest Merchant Association Inspection Bureau. The title alone suggests their significant authority and expertise in handling matters related to commerce and regulations. Zirath, maintaining a cold and unyielding expression, questions the agents harshly, dismissing their earlier excuses as unacceptable. Their posture is straight and imposing, reinforcing their superior status. As the other agents stand nervously, Zirath makes a swift decision, instructing them to return to the Inspection Bureau headquarters for further questioning and consequences. The tension escalates as they tighten their grip, showing their strict and no-nonsense approach. One of the agents hesitates, but before they can respond, Zirath delivers a shocking order. They must write 100 letters of apology as punishment. The sheer number alone implies how serious Zirath is about discipline. The agent, caught off guard, mutters, "Pardon?" Their disbelief clear. But Zirath's intense red eyes glow menacingly, shutting down any further protest. They repeat their demand with unwavering authority, making it clear that this punishment is non-negotiable. Zirath turns and walks away, his commanding presence alone enough to make his subordinates tremble with fear. Their expressions shift to unease, beads of sweat forming as they hesitate, knowing that failure is not an option under his watch. His strict and authoritative aura leaves no room for argument. Zirath pauses in thought, reflecting on the long pursuit of illegal merchants. He acknowledges that the authorities have been tracking the Wandering Merchant Association for some time, gathering reports of scams, smuggling, and illicit trade. The weight of responsibility is clear on his face as he contemplates their next move, knowing that today could be the moment of justice. As Zirath walks with purpose, the narration reveals that after a long and difficult investigation, they have finally managed to pin down Skaram's movements. The scene shifts to a bustling market, where everything appears normal, yet hidden tensions lurk beneath the surface. A close-up of Skaram, the goblin merchant, shows him confidently holding a pouch and a scroll, his smug grin indicating that he still believes he's safe. The narration details how he smuggles items from outside the tower, making him an incredibly valuable yet elusive target. Zirath's piercing red eyes focus on his target. The narration explains that Skaram has always been difficult to catch, thanks to his connections with high-ranking merchants and underhanded tactics. However, the tone shifts, signaling that today, things might finally be different. The tension peaks as a new on-the-spot arrest order has been issued, ensuring that Skaram has no more escape routes left. The scene is set for a dramatic confrontation, with the law finally closing in on the elusive merchant. Zirath clenches his fist in frustration, his sharp gaze burning with intensity as he reflects on the unexpected interruption. His carefully laid-out plans were disrupted, forcing him to reassess the situation. Zirath's red eyes glow with determination as he shifts his focus. He realizes that Theo isn't on good terms with Skaram, which piques his interest. He makes a mental note to investigate Theo further, wondering what role he might play in the larger scheme of things. Meanwhile, Theo cheerfully struts through the forest, a victorious smirk on his face. His tail sways proudly as he hums to himself, pleased with how things turned out. Completely unaware of Zirath's growing interest in him, he enjoys his moment of success. Park Sejun holds up a potato with a bright smile, showing it to the rabbits. His expression is full of excitement as he prepares to demonstrate the proper way to cut it for planting. The rabbits watch attentively, eager to learn. Sejun confidently wields a small knife, swiftly slicing through the potato with precision. His movements are sharp and practiced, showing his growing expertise in farming. The rabbits observe closely, their eyes following his every move. One of the rabbits mimics Seijun's actions, using its small paws to slice the potato cleanly. A bright light effect emphasizes the success of the cut, showcasing the rabbit's skill and determination. The cut potatoes are laid out neatly in 4 pieces, ready for planting. Seijun praises the rabbits enthusiastically, encouraging their effort and progress. A rabbit, wearing a small hat, carefully moistens the soil using a makeshift watering can. The process is meticulous, highlighting the teamwork between Seijun and the rabbits as they prepare the land for farming. Park Seijun carefully places a cut piece of potato into the soil, ensuring that the cut side faces downward. His hands are steady, showing his growing confidence in farming techniques. Standing up, Seijun wipes his hands and looks toward the rabbits. With a proud expression, he asks if they're surprised that he knows how to plant potatoes properly. The rabbits tilt their heads in curiosity, listening intently. Seijun casually admits that he learned about planting potatoes from watching YouTube videos in the past. His expression is a mix of amusement and disbelief, realizing that idle video watching is actually proving useful in the tower. A blue system notification appears, informing Seijun that he has gained a small amount of experience, 1 EXP, for planting. He acknowledges that it's not much, but even small gains feel like a steady source of additional income. With the potato planting nearly finished, Seijun turns his attention to the next crop. He suggests digging up some sweet potatoes, reminiscing about how long it has been since he last ate them. The rabbits excitedly respond, eager to continue working. Park Seijun stands before the rabbits, confidently asking if they know what to do next. His tone suggests he expects them to understand, but the rabbits look up at him with uncertain expressions. He clarifies that he's referring to the sweet potato sprouts, pointing towards the lush green vines sprawling across the field. The rabbits' eyes widen as they realize what he means. Seijun explains that they need to remove the sweet potato vines before they can start digging up the actual sweet potatoes. His reasoning is clear. Without properly handling the vines, they won't be able to maximize their harvest efficiently. Looking at the vast stretch of vines, Seijun points out that they can't just carelessly pull everything out. They must be careful to preserve the sprouts that will grow into new sweet potatoes when replanted. The rabbits, especially the black rabbit, react with enthusiasm and determination, letting out excited squeaks. Their expressions shift from hesitation to focus, ready to take on the task. A blue system notification pops up, confirming that Seijun has unlocked new agricultural knowledge related to sweet potato farming. He swings his arm in excitement, getting ready for the next phase of work. The rabbits, now fully engaged, respond with eager chirps as they prepare to assist Seijun, showing their growing trust and teamwork. The rabbits cheer excitedly, their faces full of enthusiasm as they prepare to start planting. Their energy is contagious as they eagerly react to Seijun's instructions. Seijun kneels down, observing the rabbits' excitement. He notices that they assume planting sweet potatoes is entirely his responsibility and looks at them with a knowing expression. With a grin, Seijun surprises the rabbits by declaring that he won't be monopolizing the joy of planting today. He wants them to experience the satisfaction of farming as well. Seijun passionately explains that farming isn't just about skill proficiency. It's about the process and the joy of nurturing crops. He refuses to take on the entire workload himself, wanting everyone to be involved. The rabbits freeze in shock at his words, realizing that they will have to put in more effort than they initially expected. Their faces show a mix of confusion and reluctant acceptance. Despite their surprise, some rabbits get to work, efficiently handling the sweet potato vines with tools and teamwork, showing their growing capabilities in farming. One diligent rabbit pushes a small cart filled with harvested sweet potato vines, ensuring that everything is properly managed. Their efforts highlight their increasing independence and cooperation. The black rabbit, panting heavily, struggles to keep up with the others as they all work hard on the field. Its expression shows exhaustion, indicating the intense effort it has put in. A wide-angle view captures Seijun and the rabbits actively engaged in farming. Some are carrying sweet potato vines, while others are using tools to prepare the soil. Their teamwork is evident as they move efficiently across the large field. Seijun wipes the sweat from his forehead, letting out a sigh of relief. The hard work has been exhausting, but it has paid off. His expression shows satisfaction as he takes a moment to breathe. A system notification pops up, confirming the successful creation of a 500 square meter sweet potato field. Sejun's efforts, alongside the rabbits, have resulted in a large and well-prepared farming area, marking a significant milestone in their agricultural progress. Sejun stands in front of the newly planted sweet potato field, admiring the vast, organized rows of crops. The rabbits gather around him, looking proud of their hard work. The scene highlights the scale of their farming efforts and the teamwork that made it possible. A system notification appears, revealing that Sejun has gained EXP, leveled up, and acquired a new farming skill just by creating the field. He raises a hand in excitement, realizing that his farming abilities are improving, even without actively tending to the crops. One of the rabbits, dressed in overalls and a straw hat, stretches its arms in satisfaction. Its expression conveys pride, as if enjoying the accomplishment of a long day's work. The same rabbit lets out a triumphant "pick," looking confident and happy, as if saying, "Leave it to me." Its determined stance suggests it's ready to take on even more farming tasks. A line of rabbits marches in sync, happily humming and swaying as they walk, looking like they're celebrating their successful farming efforts. Their joyful expressions and coordinated movements make it clear that they're proud of their work. More rabbits join in, including the black rabbit, blending into the playful parade. The atmosphere is lighthearted, with musical notes floating around them, emphasizing their cheerful mood. Sejun kneels on the ground, watching the rabbits spin and dance around him. His confused expression shows he has no idea why they're acting like this. The whole scene feels like an impromptu victory dance for a job well done. A system message appears, notifying Sejun that the rabbits' happiness has increased farming efficiency. It also hints at a hidden benefit of their dancing, suggesting that their positive energy affects plant growth. Sejun, catching on to their enthusiasm, smiles and joins in, asking if they should speed up the farming process with their combined efforts. As he reaches for the soil, a golden glow suddenly bursts forth from the ground, signaling something unusual is happening. Sejun reaches into the soil, but a sudden burst of golden light erupts from the ground, blinding him momentarily. The intense glow hints at something extraordinary happening. Startled by the light, Sejun flinches backward, his hands shielding his face. The rabbits around him also react, eyes wide with surprise as the energy pulses from the soil. A confused and shocked Sejun stares at the glowing object. The intensity of the light increases, making it look almost otherworldly. Even the queen bee hovering nearby watches in awe. As the light settles, a golden sweet potato emerges from the ground, surrounded by sparkling energy. A system message appears, revealing the sweet potato pumpkin in the sun. It explains that this mutant sweet potato absorbs the strongest sunlight in the tower, storing energy that radiates warmth for an hour when consumed. The description also confirms that Sejun was the one who cultivated it, marking another unexpected farming breakthrough. A system notification pops up, announcing that Sejun has received an achievement for spawning a new breed in the tower. This confirms that the sweet potato pumpkin in the sun is a completely unique creation, a groundbreaking discovery in tower farming. Sejun is stunned, his eyes widening in disbelief as he reads the message. His posture is tense, and he blurts out, "What?" unable to comprehend the significance of what just happened. A close-up of Sejun's shocked expression, his mouth open as he yells in disbelief, "I spawned a new breed?" The scene suddenly shifts away from the tower, showing a modern cityscape with tall office buildings. The perspective suggests a change in location, hinting at something or someone outside the tower being connected to what just happened. A parking lot comes into view, filled with cars neatly lined up. The setting feels calm and ordinary, a stark contrast to the chaos of the tower. This abrupt transition raises questions. Does this mean someone outside the tower is aware of Sejun's achievement? A black leather shoe steps out of a car, touching the pavement with a firm "tak" sound effect. The polished, formal footwear hints at a high-status individual, someone professional or important. A well-dressed man in a black suit steps out of the car, holding a yellow envelope in his hand. He surveys the surroundings, looking slightly puzzled. His dialogue reads, "Is this place?" His gaze sharpens as he confirms his destination. His expression is serious, showing the importance of his visit. He continues, "Mr. Sejun's house." Park Sejun, wide-eyed and stunned, kneels on the ground, surrounded by his rabbit companions. In front of him lies the newly cultivated sweet potato pumpkin of the sun. a completely new variety born inside the tower. His shock and excitement are clear from his expression and body language. Sejun's system notifications appear, confirming that he has achieved a breakthrough in cultivation. He has created a new variety of crops inside the tower. He now holds exclusive cultivation rights, meaning no one else can plant this sweet potato without his permission. The value of this discovery is unprecedented, potentially making him the sole supplier of a rare and valuable crop. Sejun, reading the notifications, reacts in excitement and disbelief. Wow, wait. A new variety? As the realization sinks in, Sejun grins with excitement, clutching the unique sweet potato in his hands. He exclaims, "Woohoo! This is amazing." He quickly understands the economic and strategic power he now holds. Even if he sells the crop, no one else can cultivate it without his approval. Determined, Sejun begins planting more of the new crop, ensuring he can maximize his harvest and make the most of his exclusive monopoly. The rabbits watch in admiration, showing their usual curiosity. With this new variety in his hands, Sejun is about to change the farming game inside the tower. Park Sejun is crouched on the ground, looking at his newly cultivated sweet potato pumpkin of the sun with curiosity. His face is filled with wonder, and his rabbits sit around him, listening attentively. He ponders. I'm curious about the taste, but more than that, I need to make sure I can grow it. With determination, Sejun confidently plants the crop into the soil while raising his hand dramatically. He declares his intent with enthusiasm. Grow well. The rabbits watch in admiration, clearly hyped up by his farming spirit. Sejun, excited by his progress, raises his fist in the air, hyping up the rabbits as he shouts, "Then, shall we dig up some sweet potatoes again?" The rabbits respond with an enthusiastic pick, eager to assist. Sejun digs up a bundle of sweet potatoes, lifting them high with a proud smile. The rabbits stare in amazement, eyes sparkling at the impressive harvest. The sweet potatoes look plump and healthy, proving their farm's success. The rabbits, now hard at work, help carry the harvested sweet potatoes in a small cart. Their teamwork is adorable and efficient, proving how much they've improved in farming assistance. Sejun looks at them, feeling proud and accomplished. A beautiful shot of the sky. The blue sky with soft clouds drifting by, signifying a peaceful and successful farming day. The warm atmosphere hints that Sejun's journey in the tower is just getting started, and more farming adventures await. A gentle campfire burns warmly, casting inviting glows onto neatly wrapped bundles made from lush green leaves. They're placed carefully around the flames, creating a cozy cooking scene. The leaf-wrapped bundles rest beside the fire, gradually cooking. Soft steam rises delicately from their surfaces, teasing the promise of delicious grilled fish and potatoes hidden inside. Close up on one leaf bundle, its surface now lightly toasted with slight char marks from the gentle heat, hinting the food inside is almost perfectly grilled. Park Sejun uses a stick to carefully check the readiness of a bundle. Gentle steam escapes, carrying the delightful aroma of freshly grilled fish and potatoes. Sejun and his rabbit companions lean closer, their faces filled with anticipation and excitement. Their expressions brighten, eyes sparkling eagerly as they await their freshly cooked meal. Sejun unwraps the leaf carefully, revealing perfectly grilled potatoes alongside tender, flaky fish. Steam rises invitingly, highlighting the warm, delicious meal that awaits. Park Sejun eagerly takes a bite from the freshly grilled sweet potato, his face lighting up with genuine delight and surprise at the incredible taste. Beside him, the rabbits munch contentedly, sharing his enthusiasm. The rabbits eat happily, their faces filled with pure joy as they savor the warm sweetness of the grilled potatoes. Their fluffy cheeks puff out adorably with each satisfying bite. Two smaller rabbits gaze in awe at the potato in their paws, eyes sparkling brightly as they savor the delicious treat, clearly impressed by the taste. Sejun sits comfortably, enjoying the peaceful meal with his rabbit companions. The rabbits happily nibble away, fully relaxed and enjoying the moment. The scene radiates warmth and camaraderie. Sejun smiles gently, noticing a notification appearing nearby that praises him for allowing his rabbits to eat first. The message is subtle proof of his kind-hearted nature, highlighting his thoughtful character. Sejun holds up a bowl full of freshly harvested sweet potatoes, presenting them with a proud smile. A notification floats beside him, signaling a new task or achievement related to his abundant harvest, marking another success in his farming journey. Sejun sits cross-legged on the ground, preparing to move forward with his farming tasks. A large bowl filled with freshly harvested sweet potatoes sits in front of him, highlighting his successful harvest. Sejun warmly addresses Scythe Rabbit and Black Rabbit, politely asking for their assistance. Both rabbits listen attentively, ready and excited to help. The tower administrator, depicted as an adorable dragon, gently holds a steaming piece of grilled sweet potato, carefully blowing on it to cool it down before enjoying it. The scene is cozy and heartwarming. Comfortably settled in a dimly lit, cozy room, the tower administrator cheerfully enjoys the grilled sweet potatoes, clearly delighted with the taste and quality of Sejun's farming efforts. The tower administrator happily opens her mouth wide to take another enthusiastic bite of the sweet potato, illustrating the delightful quality of Sejun's produce and how much she's enjoying the delicious treat. The tower administrator holds an empty bowl upside down, visibly disappointed after finishing the last sweet potato. Her expression shows a bit of longing, clearly indicating she enjoyed them a lot and wishes there were more. She briefly considers reaching out to Sejun for more sweet potatoes, a bright magical orb gently illuminating her claw. She appears thoughtful, clearly tempted by the delicious treat. Surprised, the tower administrator notices something intriguing within the magical orb. Sejun is busily working on another farming-related task. She leans forward slightly, focused and curious. Back at the farm, Sejun is carefully laying out sliced sweet potatoes on large leaves to dry. Beside him, freshly harvested sweet potatoes await preparation. Scythe Rabbit watches closely, eager and attentive to Sejun's movements. Sejun meticulously arranges the sliced sweet potatoes for drying, looking satisfied with the progress. His hands carefully handle each slice as he thoughtfully prepares them, indicating his dedication and careful attention to detail. Park Sejun energetically tosses a sweet potato slice into the air, signaling for the Scythe Rabbit to spring into action. The Scythe Rabbit leaps gracefully, blades flashing rapidly, slicing the airborne sweet potato with swift and precise movements. Its expression is confident and focused, showcasing impressive skill and agility. The sliced sweet potatoes land perfectly arranged on the drying leaves below, neatly lined up with impressive precision, highlighting the rabbit's exceptional cutting skills. Sejun gives a thumbs up to the Scythe Rabbit, praising it enthusiastically for its evenly sliced sweet potatoes. The rabbit proudly accepts the compliment, clearly happy with its performance. As Sejun munches thoughtfully on a sweet potato slice, a notification appears, briefly surprising him. His face shows curiosity and anticipation about the notification he's just received, hinting that something interesting is about to happen. Sejun crouches, carefully arranging sweet potato slices to dry. He confidently smiles, clearly proud of his clever idea for a tasty treat. Sejun looks forward eagerly, thinking about dried sweet potatoes with anticipation. His face shows genuine excitement at the idea, hinting he misses the taste or expects them to be especially delicious. Scene shifts abruptly from the tower to a modern setting. A hand is shown pressing a doorbell firmly, creating a sense of intrigue about who is visiting and why. A professionally dressed man, holding a package, patiently waits at the door in front of an apartment, standing upright and attentive. The voice from inside the apartment asks curiously who it is, creating anticipation about this unexpected visitor. The visitor, formally dressed, politely asks if he has reached Park Sejun's residence. He appears composed and professional, maintaining a calm demeanor. The apartment door bursts open abruptly, surprising the visitor. A man rushes out in excitement, mistakenly expecting to see Sejun, shouting, "Big Brother Sejun!" in surprise, only to realize it's not him. The group inside, 2 men and a woman, approaches the unexpected visitor cautiously. They're visibly confused, curious about the identity and intentions of the well-dressed man at their doorstep. The scene shifts indoors, indicating some hospitality was extended. A plate of fruits and a glass of juice have been placed on the table, suggesting a casual and relaxed atmosphere now. The tension seems reduced as conversation begins. Sejun's mother and Dongsik are seated at the table. She looks at their guest, slightly surprised, commenting that she never expected such a well-dressed visitor to be in their home. Dongsik, dressed in a formal suit, remains composed while the atmosphere carries a mix of curiosity and tension. A wide-angle shot reveals Sejun's entire family gathered around. His father sits with a troubled expression, deeply concerned about Sejun's disappearance. The weight of the situation is evident, as the family quietly processes the uncertainty surrounding his whereabouts. Dongsik formally introduces himself, revealing his position as the leader of the Phoenix Guild's 5th team. His words carry authority, making it clear that his visit isn't a casual one. The revelation immediately shifts the atmosphere in the room. Sejun's younger brother, caught off guard, reacts with pure shock. His face twists in disbelief, his mind racing at the realization that someone from the prestigious Phoenix Guild is sitting in their home. Sejun's younger brother holds up Dongsik's business card, his hands trembling as he realizes the truth. His face is filled with shock as he confirms that Kim Dongsik, the man before them, is indeed the leader of Phoenix Guild's 5th team. A close-up of Sejun's brother's thoughts as the weight of the situation sinks in. He recalls that the Phoenix Guild is one of the most prestigious guilds in the country, and on top of that, Dongsik is from the 5th team, a group rumored to be exceptionally skilled. His admiration for the hunter grows, recognizing him as a top-tier hunter. Dongsik, standing with a relaxed posture, dismisses the praise with a light-hearted attitude. His confident yet humble demeanor contrasts with the stunned reactions of Sejun's family. Sejun's mother watches the interaction with concern, whispering to her husband, questioning how someone so important ended up in their home. She expresses her disbelief, wondering why their humble house is hosting such a prestigious guest. Sejun's father sits tensely beside his wife, his face filled with anxiety. He hesitantly asks Dongsik if he knows whether Sejun has entered the tower, clearly desperate for answers regarding his missing son. A wide shot of Sejun's brothers and father frantically preparing refreshments, scrambling to serve their distinguished guest. Their nervous energy is apparent as they rush to bring out the best offerings they can find. Sejun's mother, still deeply concerned, stares at Dongsik with a questioning expression. She demands to know why he is here instead of Sejun, implying that if he knows about their son's whereabouts, he should be the one answering their worries. Kim Dongsik stands confidently in front of Sejun's family, holding out an envelope. He explains that he is here to deliver something on behalf of Park Sejun. His serious demeanor captures everyone's attention, as Sejun's family members watch him with curiosity and concern. A close-up shot of Dongsik's hand placing the envelope on the table. The tension in the air grows as Sejun's father and brothers look at it with nervous expressions, unsure of what it contains. Sejun's father, holding the envelope, suddenly gets overwhelmed with emotions. He stares at it with teary eyes, muttering, "Oh my, Sejun, you brat." His reaction suggests deep longing and frustration as he clutches the envelope with trembling hands. Sejun's family members all react with shock and disbelief. His father's face turns into an exaggerated mix of grief and anger, while his brothers panic, misunderstanding the letter's purpose. They assume the worst, that Sejun has written them a will instead of an actual message, further fueling their distress. In the background, Sejun's mother and brothers are in a frenzy, visibly shaken. One of his brothers dramatically shouts at the envelope, questioning whether Sejun wants to die, emphasizing that his parents are still alive and waiting for him. Their chaotic reaction fills the scene with energy and exaggerated emotion. Sejun's brothers are still huddled together, staring at the letter with worry, while Dongsik tries to calm them down. He hurriedly waves his hands, explaining that it's not a will, causing more confusion among the family. A final shot of Sejun's father looking up in confusion, his brows furrowed as he asks again, "Pardon? It's not a will?" The misunderstanding continues, adding a mix of comedy and tension to the moment. Sejun's family members huddle together, their faces filled with anxiety and curiosity. Their expressions shift from confusion to pure shock, as Sejun's father pulls out the contents of the envelope. A close-up shot of Sejun's father's trembling hands as he pulls out a bank check from the envelope. His eyes widen, and he starts counting the zeros in disbelief, struggling to comprehend the enormous amount written on it. A zoomed-in shot of the bank check, revealing a staggering sum of 50 million won. The sheer weight of the number stuns everyone in the room, their jaws dropping as they process the fact that Sejun somehow managed to send them a massive amount of money from inside the tower. Kim Dongsik, standing confidently, explains the situation to the bewildered family. He clarifies that Park Sejun deeply regrets leaving so suddenly, and wanted to express his care and responsibility by sending them this money. His words bring a moment of realization to everyone in the room. A wide-angle shot of Sejun's father leaning back, suddenly bursting into laughter. His face lights up with pride and amusement, exclaiming that Sejun is a smart brat, just like him. The tension in the room shifts into admiration as his brothers look at each other, realizing Sejun has indeed made it big inside the tower. Sejun's mother, her face filled with concern, looks toward Dongsik as she asks if Sejun is truly doing well inside the tower. She wonders why Sejun didn't come in person to deliver the money if he was okay. Her worry is evident, hoping for reassurance. Dongsik maintains a calm and composed demeanor as he explains that Sejun is unable to leave due to an ongoing quest, something that often happens to hunters. He reassures her that Sejun is safe and she doesn't need to worry. His tone is firm, attempting to ease the family's concerns. Sejun's older brother Sedol shifts his posture slightly, looking at Dongsik with a hint of suspicion. He acknowledges his name being mentioned and asks to be referred to comfortably as team leader Sedol, showing his assertive personality. Dongsik, now more serious, directly asks Sedol if he was truly unaware of Sejun entering the tower. His expression sharpens, indicating that he's carefully observing Sedol's reaction. Sedol, caught slightly off guard, explains that their family lost contact with Sejun months ago, around 6 months prior, when he suddenly disappeared. His expression holds both frustration and regret. Sedol continues, revealing that they hadn't heard any news of Sejun during this time. However, they received an odd report that one of Sejun's co-workers mentioned he was last seen near the tower's entrance, and he voluntarily stayed there. The information leaves a lingering mystery in the air. Dongsik, maintaining his calm but inquisitive demeanor, asks Sedol if Sejun had any previous hunter experience before entering the tower. His expression is calculating, as though trying to piece together an unusual puzzle. Panel 2. Sedol responds with uncertainty, mentioning that some people do enter the tower as amateurs, either by accident or choice. However, he notes that there are systems in place to prevent reckless entry, such as needing a Hunter Association account or official registration through a guild. A heavy atmosphere fills the room as Dongsik analyzes the information. He mentally reviews what he knows. Sejun entered the tower 6 months ago, but there were no official records of his registration. The situation is starting to look more unusual than he initially thought. Sedol, now realizing the implications, questions aloud whether Sejun has been climbing the tower alone. The idea itself sounds absurd, making him doubt his own words. A stunning visual of the tower, glowing in blue energy, dominates the scene. The narration recalls how it has been 10 years since the tower first appeared, changing the world forever. A striking image of Park Sejun, clad in battle gear, standing firm with a sword in hand. His posture exudes confidence and strength, as though he has already become a force to be reckoned with inside the tower. Dongsik, now with a sharp and focused expression, wonders if what he's witnessing is the rise of an unprecedented genius hunter. If Sejun has truly climbed to the 40th floor alone, then he might be making history. Sedol, now showing a bit of ambition, turns to Kim Dongsik and asks if the Phoenix Guild has a talent development program. His expression is hopeful, as though he sees an opportunity for himself in the tower. Sejun's father, frustrated by Sedol's suggestion, scolds him. He points out that Sejun is already risking his life inside the tower, and rather than supporting him from the outside, Sedol is trying to jump in as well. His reaction is full of concern, clearly not wanting to lose another family member to the unknown dangers of the tower. Sedol, slightly offended, retaliates with a dramatic outburst, insisting that he might be talented too. He clenches his fist in frustration, feeling overshadowed by Sejun's achievements. Kim Dongsik, maintaining his calm and professional demeanor, explains the dangers of becoming a hunter. He reminds them that even an extra bit of greed can be fatal, and the Hunter Association's reports show that it's better for households to have just one hunter, rather than multiple risking their lives. His serious tone emphasizes the real dangers of the tower. Dongsik prepares to leave, standing up as he expresses his intention to take his leave. His job is done, and he has delivered Sejun's message and money to the family. Sejun's mother, ever the good host, stops Dongsik and insists that he stay for a meal before leaving. The warm, hospitable gesture contrasts the heavy conversation that had just taken place. Kim Dongsik stands near the doorway, speaking on the phone as he prepares to leave. He explains that he came straight to Sejun's house after leaving the tower, and now he needs to go meet his family. His composed demeanor suggests that he's finally wrapping up his task. Sejun's mother, showing her warm nature, expresses regret for keeping a busy person like Dongsik for so long. She politely wishes him well and tells him to take care. An exterior shot of the parking lot shows Dongsik's black car parked neatly outside Sejun's family's home. The clear sky and calm surroundings give a sense of closure to his visit. Inside the car, Dongsik exhales deeply, relaxing in the driver's seat. It's clear that he was holding a lot of responsibility, and now that his task is finished, he can finally unwind a little. A blue system notification appears, displaying "Contract Quest completed." This confirms that Dongsik's mission to deliver Sejun's message and money to his family has been officially fulfilled. With a small, satisfied smirk, Dongsik grips the steering wheel and speaks to himself, acknowledging that his job is done. He wonders if it's time to move on to his next task, hinting that there might be more important matters waiting for him elsewhere. A smartphone screen is displayed inside Dongsik's car, ringing with an incoming call. The name on the caller ID suggests it's his daughter reaching out. The atmosphere shifts to something more personal as he prepares to answer. Dongsik, now visibly relaxed, picks up the call with a warm and affectionate smile. His expression is filled with fatherly joy as he speaks cheerfully, excited to talk to his daughter. An exterior shot of Dongsik's black car driving through an urban area shows him heading to his next destination. The sunlight and open streets emphasize a sense of completion and moving forward after his successful task. Dongsik, still on the call, teases his daughter, telling her that he brought something she likes. His voice is playful, and he seems eager to reunite with his family. Meanwhile, in a different location, Theo the cat merchant appears, humming happily while munching on grilled skewers. He looks satisfied and carefree, likely enjoying his peaceful moment after everything that has happened. A serene shot of the blue sky with gentle clouds drifting by. The peaceful atmosphere sets the stage for another day of farming and growth inside the tower. A close-up view of small carrot tops growing in water. The leaves have started sprouting, showing signs of healthy regeneration. The setup looks carefully maintained, suggesting that Park Sejun has been experimenting with regrowing food scraps. A hand reaches down to pick up one of the carrot tops, ready for the next step in the planting process. Sejun, kneeling on the ground, carefully plants a carrot top into the soil. His expression shows focus and satisfaction as a blue system notification appears, indicating the completion of the planting process. A closer explanation of the carrot regrowing method is shown. It details how soaking carrot tops in water for several days allows them to develop leaves before being transplanted into the soil. An illustration of the process is displayed, showing how fully grown leaves signal that the carrot top is ready for soil planting, ensuring a successful regrowth cycle. A lush field of blooming white flowers is shown, swaying gently in the breeze. The calm and serene atmosphere highlights the beauty of Sejun's farm. The flowers seem to be a part of his latest cultivation efforts. A closer look at the flowers reveals their intricate details. These plants appear well-maintained and flourishing under Sejun's care, proving his expertise in farming. Sejun, crouching beside Scythe Rabbit, observes the flowers with a thoughtful expression. His posture suggests a moment of reflection, appreciating the hard work that led to this success. A blue system notification appears, signaling that the tower administrator is requesting sweet potatoes. This seems to be an ongoing trade between Sejun and the administrator. Sejun, still sitting, lets out a sigh, as if he expected this request. His expression is half amused, half resigned, showing that he's already used to fulfilling the administrator's food cravings. Sejun suddenly reacts with surprise, his eyes widening as something catches his attention beyond the frame. The black rabbit and white rabbit on his shoulders also seem startled, sensing whatever it is that Sejun just noticed. A wide view of neatly arranged dried sweet potatoes is displayed. The golden pieces are lined up in rows, indicating that they have been drying under the sun for some time. Sejun, standing beside them, observes the result of his efforts with satisfaction. The black rabbit sits beside him, watching quietly. Sejun leans forward and picks up a dried piece, examining its texture. His expression is filled with curiosity and excitement, eager to test the results of his preservation technique. A close-up shot of Sejun's fingers holding the dried sweet potato piece, highlighting its thin, crisp form. The golden hue and slightly curled edges indicate successful dehydration, making it ready for tasting. Sejun's face lights up with a playful grin as he lifts the sweet potato towards his mouth. The white rabbit on his shoulder watches intently, mirroring Sejun's excitement. A close-up of Seijun biting into the dried sweet potato. The slight crunch and chewiness are visible as he takes his first bite, eager to judge the flavor and texture of his hard work. Seijun and the rabbits bite into the dried sweet potatoes at the same time, their faces lighting up in pure bliss. The golden, crispy exterior gives way to a soft, chewy inside, releasing a deep, satisfying flavor. The background is filled with bright, sparkling colors, emphasizing how delicious the treat is. A close-up of Seijun's ecstatic expression, eyes wide with delight as he holds up several dried sweet potatoes. He looks absolutely amazed, as if he's discovered the ultimate snack. A visual display of the dried sweet potatoes floating in mid-air, with an information box detailing its properties. The text highlights its chewy texture and naturally sweet flavor, making it an ideal snack for energy and enjoyment. Seijun sits on the ground, grinning with excitement, as he gathers more dried sweet potatoes. The rabbits hop around him, equally enthusiastic about their new favorite food. Seijun looks determined to prepare more for later consumption. A subtle shift in mood. Seijun, still happily chewing, pauses as a message appears before him. The tower administrator is sending a reminder, hinting that Seijun may have overlooked something important. Seijun turns slightly, still nibbling on his sweet potato, and laughs awkwardly. His expression suggests that he suddenly remembers something urgent, but he's too lost in enjoying his food to take immediate action. Seijun is holding a bowl filled with dried sweet potatoes, looking at the floating system message. The tower administrator has sent a request to eat some quietly. Seijun pauses, as if considering the request. His expression is neutral, but he seems to be weighing his options. Seijun sits down, still holding the bowl of dried sweet potatoes, while speaking to the air. He acknowledges the awkwardness of sending food in a random bowl and seems to have come up with a better idea. His rabbits watch from the side, seemingly curious about what he's planning. A new system message appears before Seijun, stating that the tower administrator prefers a more formal delivery and doesn't want something too roughly prepared. Seijun grins, looking confident that his new plan will work perfectly. Seijun presents his finished work, dramatically lifting a beautifully wrapped package of dried sweet potatoes. The background bursts with energy, emphasizing his satisfaction with the result. A system message confirms that the dried sweet potato gift package has been completed. The tower administrator, a massive black dragon, holds the neatly wrapped dried sweet potato gift package in her claws. A faint blush spreads across her face, her large blue eyes shimmering with a mix of emotions. The once powerful and dignified administrator now looks unexpectedly shy, as if she's slowly developing feelings for Park Seijun. The simple yet heartfelt gesture of him preparing a beautifully packaged snack just for her has clearly left an impact. Overwhelmed, the tower administrator lets out a dramatic, almost despairing cry. She clutches the gift, struggling with an unexpected dilemma. How could she possibly eat something so adorable? Her heart races, and her usual composed demeanor is completely shattered. A text box narration emphasizes the impact of her reaction. Her emotions are running so high that it's practically shaking the very balance of the tower. For the first time in her long existence, she's feeling something new. A peaceful sky view transitions back to Seijun's farm. The bright blue sky and drifting clouds create a calming atmosphere, a stark contrast to the chaotic emotions of the tower administrator. Life on the farm moves forward, unaware of the storm brewing in her heart. Back at the underground farm, Park Seijun sits cross-legged, deep in thought. The rabbits gather around him as he reflects on his latest batch of dried sweet potatoes. He had dried 40 of them, but they disappeared in a single day, a mystery that confounds him. The rabbits glance at him innocently, their tiny paws clutching food, as if they know nothing about where all the dried sweet potatoes went. Park Seijun is startled as the queen bee suddenly rushes toward him, looking flustered. The small golden bee buries her face into his back, wings fluttering anxiously. Seijun looks down at her in confusion, sensing something is wrong. He gently moves to check on the queen bee, wondering what could be troubling her. Her usual confident demeanor is replaced with an unusual shyness or nervousness, as if she's struggling to express something important. The queen bee finally manages to act, placing something into Seijun's hand. He opens his palm and sees a small golden bundle of pollen, glowing faintly with a mystical aura. A system notification appears, identifying the item as corn pollen bundle. Sejun looks at the lush cornfield, now fully grown and healthy. The golden stalks stand tall, their leaves rustling in the underground wind. The queen bee's bees have been diligently working, helping pollinate the flowers, allowing the crops to flourish beyond his expectations. Standing in front of the expansive cornfield, Sejun takes in the scene. The queen bee hovers beside him, looking proud of their progress. Below, the rabbits sit attentively, their eyes fixed on Sejun, awaiting his response. The farm is thriving, thanks to the queen bee and her hive's dedication. Sejun realizes just how valuable their efforts have been in accelerating the farm's success. Park Sejun sits among his thriving cornfield, surrounded by his rabbits and the queen bee. He wonders aloud about corn's lack of honey, realizing that the worker bees collect pollen instead of honey due to this limitation. With curiosity piqued, Sejun inspects the corn pollen bundle. Since pollen is sometimes used as a health supplement, he contemplates tasting it. The queen bee hovers beside him, watching closely, as if eager for his reaction. Sejun confidently pops the corn pollen bundle into his mouth, chewing thoughtfully. The texture is slightly different from what he expected. A wave of bittersweet flavor spreads in his mouth. He finds the taste intriguing. It's slightly bitter at first, but the sweetness kicks in soon after, resembling a type of candy. His expression lights up with pleasant surprise as he realizes it's quite enjoyable. Sejun, now excited, expresses his appreciation for the queen bee's gift, thanking her sincerely. The queen bee, seemingly pleased by his approval, hovers happily near him. Zooming out, the queen bee calls out energetically, rallying her entire hive. A swarm of bees flutters around Sejun, almost as if they're celebrating his newfound love for their pollen collection. The rabbits watch curiously, witnessing this unique bond between Sejun and his growing farm companions. Park Sejun smiles as he holds a generous bundle of golden pollen, gifted by the worker bees. The queen bee hovers proudly, watching as her hive presents their collection to Sejun. He expresses his gratitude, appreciating their hard work. Sejun looks down at the large amount of pollen in his hands, realizing that it's far too precious to consume all at once. He contemplates how to use it wisely, knowing that it's a rare and valuable resource. A familiar voice suddenly calls out from above. Theo, the merchant cat, makes a dramatic return, announcing his arrival with his signature, Nya. Sejun looks up, immediately recognizing the feline. A close-up of Theo's large green eyes, reflecting curiosity and nervousness as he observes the scene below. His attention is fixated on something, or rather someone, that makes him uneasy. Theo suddenly flinches in fear, his fur bristling as he locks eyes with the queen bee. Despite her small size, her imposing presence makes him incredibly nervous. He lets out a panicked growl, admitting that he's scared of her. Sejun reassures Theo, explaining that the queen bee and her hive won't attack him since he's on friendly terms with them. The queen bee maintains her regal posture, watching Theo curiously as he slowly lowers his guard. The queen bee hovers nervously, her wings fluttering as she examines Theo, who is still wary of her presence. Theo's ears flatten, his nose twitching as he sniffs the air hesitantly, still clearly uneasy around the powerful bee ruler. Theo suddenly sneezes, causing him to lose his balance. Without thinking, he lunges toward Sejun, clinging onto his shirt for support. Sejun, caught off guard, looks down at the feline hanging onto him, realizing Theo is still frightened. Sejun gently tries to shake Theo off, reminding him not to cling to his clothes. Meanwhile, Theo sniffles dramatically, his tail flicking in distress. Now on the ground, Theo straightens up and proudly declares that he has successfully completed all of his missions. His tail swishes confidently, as if expecting praise. Sejun, slightly amused, acknowledges his report. Sejun asks Theo if he properly conveyed the message to his family. He's visibly concerned, hoping that his parents and siblings understood everything he wanted to say. Theo nods, confirming that the contract quest is already completed. As Sejun processes this, he realizes that means both his message and the 50 million won he sent home have been successfully delivered. A blue system notification appears, confirming, contract quest completed. Sejun exhales in relief, reassured that his family has received his support. Sejun and Theo sit on the ground, reflecting on the completed message delivery. Theo, with his usual confidence, reassures Seijun that everything went smoothly. Seijun acknowledges it, feeling reassured. Theo expresses his curiosity about Korea, saying that he might go there one day to check it out. His tail flicks as he muses about the idea. Seijun watches him with mild amusement. Seijun hands Theo a treat, calling him dependable for handling the delivery well. Theo, puffing up with pride, eagerly accepts the compliment. Seijun takes a moment to think about his family, imagining the relief on their faces after receiving the money. He feels comforted knowing that his dad and younger siblings won't have to struggle anymore. Seijun chuckles at the thought of how his family would react if they knew he was living in the tower surrounded by rabbits. He imagines their shocked expressions and shakes his head at the absurdity of it. A rabbit wearing a straw hat tends to a small patch of tomato plants, carefully inspecting them. The farm continues to flourish under Seijun's care. Seijun suddenly remembers that his father had a passion for growing flowers. He realizes that he must have inherited his love for farming from his dad, which makes him smile. As Seijun reflects, a group of rabbits busily tend to the crops, hopping around with small tools in their paws. The farm is thriving, thanks to their teamwork. Seijun finds peace in knowing that his family is safe, while also realizing that his passion for farming may have been passed down from his father. Seijun gazes into the distance, a gentle smile forming on his face as he thinks about his mother. A wave of nostalgia washes over him, bringing back warm memories of home. A vivid memory of Seijun's family plays in his mind. His mother is serving a warm meal to him and his siblings, placing a steaming pot of kimchi stew at the center of the table. The comforting sight of home-cooked food lingers in his thoughts. Seijun sits on the ground inside the tower, staring at his growing crops. He's surrounded by the towering corn stalks he carefully nurtured. Despite the beauty of his flourishing farm, an unmistakable loneliness settles in. A small moment of longing escapes as he silently reflects. I miss my family. His connection to his home feels distant, yet his love for farming keeps him going. A sudden presence interrupts his thoughts. A black rabbit appears beside him, drawing his attention. Seijun turns his head, sensing that something important is about to happen. A cheerful procession of Seijun's animal companions march toward him in unison. The queen bee hovers above, leading the group, followed closely by the rabbits, the black rabbit, and Theo, the sable cat merchant. Their presence is lively and full of energy as they gather around Seijun. Seijun looks at them warmly, realizing that even though he misses his family back home, he isn't truly alone. He smiles as he acknowledges them, feeling a deep bond forming with his unlikely but loyal companions. Theo, ever the opportunistic merchant, takes this chance to show off a new product from the tower's economy. He lifts a small sack in his paws, eager to discuss business with Seijun. His tail flicks excitedly as he prepares to make a deal. Seijun inspects the sack of tower coins, his expression a mix of curiosity and realization. The 208.8 tower coins he holds represent a significant gain, proof that his farming efforts are yielding more than just food. They're turning into a profitable venture. Theo smirks, ever the businessman, and comments on how expected it is for merchants like himself to let profits accumulate before reinvesting them. His keen business sense shines through as he continues to educate Seijun on tower economics. Theo excitedly presents another item to Seijun, pulling out a small black pan with a confident flourish. He seems pleased with the quality of the item as he holds it up, tail swaying with satisfaction. Seijun kneels down, taking the pan from Theo, while looking at it with amusement and curiosity. His companions, rabbits, the black rabbit and Theo, watch attentively as he examines the cooking tool, sensing its importance. A closer look at the pan reveals an item description, confirming it as a product of the tower, but with an undisclosed manufacturer. Seijun frowns slightly, wondering why such information would be hidden. As he ponders the mystery, his attention shifts to something unexpected. On the ground lies a jagged-looking dagger, partially buried in the dirt. Its menacing aura instantly raises questions in Seijun's mind. Seijun lifts a short dagger, examining it with a mix of surprise and curiosity. This is the first weapon he has come across in the tower, making it an unusual find for his farming-oriented lifestyle. A system window appears, detailing the dagger's mysterious origins. It is marked with 3 question marks, suggesting an unidentified or unverified weapon. The description notes that its manufacturer and origin are unknown, but its grade is B rank, indicating it holds decent power. Sejun, now more intrigued, turns to Theo, asking about the source of the dagger. Theo, ever the business-savvy merchant, explains that he acquired it from a Black Tower lottery corner after winning a random draw. Sejun looks slightly conflicted, gripping the dagger while debating whether or not he should use it. Since he meets its usage conditions, he contemplates if wielding it would be beneficial or risky. A notification from the tower manager appears, stating that they will observe his decision with interest, implying that whatever he does next might hold significance. 2 new quests appear in front of Sejun, each with different objectives. Quest 1. Sell the unidentified dagger to the tower manager for an undisclosed reward. Quest 2. Hold on to the dagger for a future quest related to the tower's mysteries. Sejun is left to decide his next move, weighing the potential benefits and risks of either keeping or selling the dagger. Sejun reads a system message stating that the tower manager is requesting dried sweet potatoes again. Their relentless craving for his farming goods makes him sigh in exasperation. He processes the request, realizing that the tower manager is persistent about getting more food from him. Their interest in sweet potatoes is almost obsessive at this point. A new notification appears, confirming that the tower manager is eagerly waiting for the trade. Sejun rubs his forehead, sensing that the tower manager might be more of a foodie than a ruler. Deciding to go along with it, Sejun hands over the dagger. Since he feels uneasy about wielding an unidentified weapon, he concludes that trading it away is the better option. A system message confirms that the tower manager is using their appraisal skill on the dagger. Their keen interest in the item hints that it might be more valuable than it appears. The quest completion notification appears, signifying that the trade is successful. In return for the mysterious dagger, Sejun receives a plate of neatly arranged dried sweet potatoes. Sejun pauses in disbelief, realizing that despite all the mystique and power surrounding the tower manager, their true priority is delicious food. A notification window appears, displaying the appraisal results of the dagger Sejun traded. It is identified as Keynes's training short dagger, revealing detailed stats and abilities. The intricate description suggests that this weapon holds considerable value, and Sejun's eyes widen at the discovery. Sejun looks at the dagger in shock and excitement, realizing that this is a named equipment. He grips it tightly, feeling the weight of its significance. Items with actual names are extremely rare, making this far more valuable than expected. A thought crosses Sejun's mind. If this were sold outside the tower, it would easily fetch a fortune. He envisions the massive price tag, imagining how much a hunter would be willing to pay for it. Sejun turns his attention to Theo, the sales cat, who was the one who originally acquired this dagger. His expression shifts into curiosity and suspicion, as he tries to make sense of how a random lottery purchase led to such a rare weapon. Sejun squats down, resting his chin on his hands, trying to process the absurdity of the situation. The dagger that could be worth a fortune was casually acquired through a random gamble at the lottery corner. He sighs, realizing that even in the tower, luck plays a huge role. Sejun looks at Theo with an expression of pure amazement and admiration. His eyes sparkle as he clutches his paws together, realizing just how talented Sejun is. His respect for Theo seems to have grown even further. A close-up of Theo's paw as he dramatically clenches it into a fist. His admiration for Sejun has likely inspired some resolve in him. It's clear that he recognizes Sejun's capabilities as something beyond ordinary. The scene shifts to a beautiful, wide shot of a vast forest, with rolling green hills stretching into the distance. The peaceful atmosphere suggests that something is about to change or introduce a new development. A large red-furred creature moves through the forest, rustling the bushes. The size of its back and movements suggest that it's a powerful beast. A close-up of the creature's face, partially obscured by the dense foliage. Its snout twitches, indicating that it is sniffing the air, possibly tracking something or someone. A new threat or encounter may be on its way. A red-furred bear cub sits in a lush green forest, looking slightly confused. Its large, round eyes give off an innocent and curious expression, and its tiny claws clutch at the ground as if it was interrupted from whatever it was doing. The cub tilts its head slightly and lets out a soft "queng," as if questioning something or sensing an unfamiliar presence. Theo, the merchant sales cat, is enjoying a treat, licking a red-colored churu, cat treat, with a satisfied expression. His ears twitch happily as he savors the taste. Behind him, Park Sejin stands casually with his hands on his hips, watching over his companions. One of the white rabbits is nearby, seemingly also observing the moment. The setting remains Sejun's farm in the tower, with tall crops swaying in the background. Suddenly, Sejun's expression shifts into full combat readiness. His eyes narrow, and he quickly crosses his arms in front of his chest, preparing for an imminent action. A dramatic black and red aura effect emphasizes his sudden reaction, signaling something serious. With sharp movements, Sejun slashes forward with green energy streaks, his hands moving with controlled precision. The air ripples from his swift motion, making it clear that he's executing a technique with force. The surrounding crops sway violently from the pressure of his movements. Sejun's attack lands, slicing several green onions in one clean motion. The forceful cut is emphasized with bold red impact text, showcasing his growing physical strength and precision in farming. This panel confirms that Sejun wasn't reacting to an enemy, but rather demonstrating his improved skill in harvesting crops with technique and efficiency. Sejun stands proudly in the middle of his freshly harvested green onion field, looking confident. The neatly cut onions lay on the ground, proof of his improved dagger skills. Around him, the black and white rabbits, along with Theo, observe his work. Sejun, with a smirk, asks, "What do you think about my dagger skills? Pretty good, isn't it?" Clearly proud of his precise cuts, Theo, still munching on his churu, looks up at Sejun and asks, "Mr. Park Sejun, did you like that short dagger, Nia?" Referring to the Keynes' training short dagger he gave him earlier. Sejun nods and praises Theo, saying, "Yeah, I like it, Theo. I'm impressed you brought this." He acknowledges Theo's efforts in obtaining the dagger from the black market lottery. Theo, clearly pleased with the praise, smugly crosses his arms and responds, "It's Sales Cat Theo. You commended me. That one is on your tab, Nya." He's reveling in the moment, feeling like a true merchant and broker. Sejun, amused by Theo's reaction, plays along and tells him, all right, Sales Cat Theo, you're amazing." Theo, feeling highly respected, acts as if he's allowing Sejun's slip of casual speech slide this time. Theo then lifts his paw towards Sejun, acting haughty and saying, "Ahem, I'll let this slide once. Be careful, Naya," showing off his merchant authority. Sejun grabs Theo's paw and squeezes it, with the narration emphasizing how Theo's paw is way too squishy. Sejun, in his mind, is shocked at how soft it is, clearly amused by the unexpected fluffiness. Sejun is staring at Theo, and for some reason, he suddenly finds him looking very pretty. There's a soft expression on Sejun's face as if he's been charmed. Theo, eyes closed, purrs contentedly as Sejun gently rubs his paw. Theo happily says, "Mr. Sejun, you're doing well, Nya." Sejun, slightly dazed, murmurs about how adorable Theo's paws feel. He's completely absorbed in the sensation, rubbing them like they're the softest thing he's ever touched. Theo suddenly switches topics, opening his eyes and asking for more churu, revealing his true motives. Sejun, still sitting on the ground, holds Theo in his lap, while the black rabbit watches from the side. Theo, looking smug and triumphant, dramatically laughs. "Nya-ha-ha! All humans bow their knees for my paws, Nya." Clearly, he's very proud of his soft paw pads being an irresistible weapon. Theo continues his grand speech, confidently declaring, "My front paws are the golden paw, Nya." He truly believes in the legendary power of his cuteness, but Sejun, now back to his senses, stares at Theo suspiciously. His instincts kick in, and he starts to feel that something isn't right about this whole situation. The narration emphasizes his wariness. It feels a little fishy. Sejun lifts Theo up, holding him up at eye level. Theo dangles in the air, looking slightly confused but still cute. Sejun, now clearly seeing through Theo's manipulation tactics, closes his eyes and kisses Theo's paw as if playing along. However, there's a hint of sarcasm in his expression. Sejun lowers Theo back down, but his grip is firm. He's clearly done with Theo's tricks. The black rabbit watches the interaction from the ground. Sejun, standing tall, folds his arms and declares, "Sales Cat Theo, your golden age is over." He's putting an end to Theo's paw trickery. Theo's ears perk up in shock, and he exclaims, "Naya!" Clearly, he wasn't expecting Sejun to see through his scheme so quickly. Theo, trying to defend his pawmanship, hurriedly objects, saying, "Wait! This test wasn't fair, Naya. If you pet my paws for just a little longer, you'll change your mind, Naya." Sejun, however, is firm in his decision, shaking his head and shutting Theo down. "No! It's over!" He won't be fooled any longer. However, Theo quickly switches tactics. He digs into his pouch, suddenly turning mysterious, and says, "Sejun, there's something I want to show you, Nia." His expression becomes serious and determined, making it seem like he has important business. Theo dramatically pulls out various items from his pouch, revealing a collection of small bottles and packets. His excitement is evident as he eagerly presents them, emphasizing their significance. As the items scatter onto the ground, Sejun stares at them in shock. His body slightly tenses as he processes what he's seeing, his wide eyes showing disbelief. Theo, looking proud of himself, explains how he managed to acquire these items. His relaxed posture suggests he doesn't fully grasp how valuable they are to Sejun, treating it as a casual accomplishment. Sejun carefully picks up a small packet, bringing it close to his face as he examines its contents. His fingers tremble slightly, showing his anticipation as he prepares to test it. As Sejun places a pinch of the substance on his tongue, his expression changes instantly. His eyes widen, and his body stiffens as the taste confirms his suspicion. It's salt. The realization of what this means leaves him momentarily speechless. Sejun exclaims loudly, his face lighting up with excitement. He holds up the salt shaker as if it were a legendary treasure, his reaction showing just how much he missed the taste of salt. The background sparkles emphasize his overwhelming joy. Sejun is visibly emotional as he savors the moment. He contemplates the rich flavor, recalling how he hasn't tasted something properly seasoned in a long time. The realization of what he can do with these seasonings floods his mind. Looking at Theo, Sejun eagerly questions how he managed to acquire such a valuable item. He holds up the shaker, already thinking of the possibilities it brings. His tone suggests both curiosity and excitement. Theo grins proudly, enjoying Sejun's exaggerated reaction. He playfully boasts about himself, making it seem like obtaining salt was an effortless task for someone as great as him. Sejun suddenly lifts Theo into the air and begins spinning him around in sheer excitement. The other animals watch in amusement while Theo is caught off guard, flailing as he's lifted. A bright blue sky is visible through the hole in Sejun's cave, with steam rising into the air, signaling that something is being cooked. The atmosphere feels peaceful and inviting. A close-up shot reveals pieces of grilled meat, perfectly cooked with a rich golden brown sear. The aroma is likely irresistible, as small white rabbits eagerly watch from the side, their noses twitching in anticipation. Sejun hums happily while holding a skewer stacked with pieces of grilled meat. His expression is filled with satisfaction, clearly enjoying the meal he has prepared. A wide shot shows Sejun sitting at his usual spot, enjoying his food. The environment around him is tranquil, with green plants growing healthily, indicating the success of his farming efforts. A rabbit at the edge of a rocky ledge sniffs the air, catching the irresistible aroma of Sejun's grilled meat. Its nose twitches as it leans forward, drawn in by the delicious scent. Another rabbit beside it watches curiously, wondering what has captivated its companion. Sejun is greeted by the rabbits, who seem excited and well-rested. They eagerly approach him, their small bodies hopping around, clearly anticipating something. Sejun acknowledges them with a warm smile, showing his growing bond with them. Sejun encourages the rabbits to take a seat, sensing their hunger. He playfully notes that they aren't the only ones feeling hungry this morning, setting the stage for a meal he's clearly proud of. Sejun dramatically reveals his cooking setup. A full spread of grilled skewers, fish wrapped in leaves, and other seasoned foods roasting over an open flame. The scene looks grand, almost as if he's hosting a feast for his animal companions. The fire flickers under the food, making it look even more appetizing. The rabbits sit before the meal, observing it with curiosity. One of them lets out a confused peek, as if it's surprised or unsure about something. Sejun explains that he's prepared different seasoning options to match their tastes. He's taken extra care to salt, pepper, and season everything appropriately, ensuring that even his picky companions can enjoy the meal. Sejun observes that most of the white rabbits seem to find the pepper seasoning too spicy. Their reactions suggest they are struggling with the heat, making small, flustered gestures. Meanwhile, he turns to the black rabbit, who seems to be eating without any issues, and asks if it enjoys the meal. The black rabbit responds with a simple peek, indicating its approval of the food. It appears to have a more resilient palate compared to the others. Sejun notices that Sailor's cat Theo is still sleeping, having stayed up late. Theo is lying in the background, sprawled out and resting. Sejun calls out, telling him to wake up and join for breakfast. Theo finally stirs awake at the mention of grilled fish. His ears perk up as he repeats the words, clearly enticed by the meal Sejun has prepared. Sejun presents Theo with 2 seasoning options, one with salt and the other with pepper, offering him a choice based on his taste preference. Sejun's expression is cheerful as he proudly holds out the skewered fish. However, Theo immediately becomes suspicious. His eyes widen, and he accuses Sejun of playing a joke on him. He seems particularly concerned about the fish being referred to as divine, as if he's expecting something more luxurious. Sejun appears amused that Theo doesn't appreciate the simplicity of grilled fish seasoned with salt. He seems to find it funny that Theo doesn't recognize its true flavor, while Sejun himself enjoys his meal, holding the cat. Theo finally tastes the fish properly and realizes that grilled fish truly shines with just salt as seasoning. His expression shifts to one of approval, acknowledging its deliciousness. In the background, the white rabbits are tending to the crops. One rabbit is using a small blue container to water the plants, while another rabbit is harvesting cherry tomatoes from a nearby vine. Sejun reaches out to a tomato vine and carefully picks a bunch of ripe red cherry tomatoes, preparing to use them for his next dish. As Sejun uses Keynes's training short dagger to cut the tomatoes, a system notification appears. It reveals that the dagger isn't just for battle. It significantly boosts proficiency in all skills that involve its use, including farming and harvesting. Sejun realizes the true value of the dagger. The system confirms that it is an B-rank named item, meaning its capabilities go beyond what he initially expected. He acknowledges that if he continues using it, he'll be able to increase his proficiency even further. Sejun, holding freshly harvested cherry tomatoes, offers them to Theo. He praises their quality and encourages Theo to take them, implying they are good for business or eating. Theo, however, seems reluctant. He's puzzled about why he, the self-proclaimed great sales cat, is doing this kind of manual labor instead of focusing on sales. His expression conveys mild frustration as he holds the tomatoes. Sejun counters Theo's complaint by pointing out that even he, the chairman of the farm, is working. He emphasizes that just because someone holds a title, it doesn't mean they can avoid labor. Theo is shocked to hear Sejun refer to himself as chairman. It seems to shake his perception of Sejun's position, making him rethink his complaints. Sejun confirms that yes, he is indeed the chairman. He follows up by formally promoting Theo to a new position, Sales Cat Theo, giving him a more prestigious-sounding role while still expecting him to work. Theo appears satisfied with the promotion, taking pride in his new title. He suddenly seems motivated, realizing that learning about the farming process will help him become even better at his job. He declares that he will work harder now that he understands its importance. Theo smirks confidently, lost in his own ambitions. He envisions himself rising in rank and becoming the chairman, fantasizing about having Sejun bow before him. His expression is full of mischief and pride, showing that he is already plotting his future success. Theo, still basking in his self-proclaimed greatness, announces that he will take his leave. He carries a bundle of goods with him, likely filled with farm products or trade items, indicating that he is heading off to handle business. Sejun, slightly surprised at Theo's quick departure, calls out to him, reminding him to stop by and buy some necessary ingredients or materials on his way back. He also tells Theo to check out the lottery corner and pick anything that catches his eye. Sejun acknowledges Theo's skills, realizing that his talent for business is something worth encouraging. Theo, with great enthusiasm, reassures Sejun that he will return soon. His confidence and excitement shine through as he waves goodbye, ready to take on his trade mission. Sejun watches Theo leave, raising both hands in a casual farewell. He seems amused and content, knowing that his trusted sales cat is handling things efficiently. The bright sky above adds a sense of openness and opportunity, reflecting Sejun's optimism for what's ahead. Sejun walks through the farm, holding a handful of cherry tomatoes, accompanied by the white rabbits and black rabbit. His expression is relaxed as he reflects on how well things have been going. He realizes that if Theo had left a little later, he could have given him D-rank cherry tomatoes to sell, which would have been more valuable. However, he decides to let it go, thinking that it's better to take a break, eat some tomatoes, and rest. Theo, holding his bag, seems to feel a bit disappointed about something. His expression suggests that he was expecting a better outcome, but he doesn't voice his complaint outright. The tower manager steps through a glowing portal, exuding an overwhelming presence. The golden floor beneath them reflects the radiant energy, emphasizing their authority. The moment feels significant, as if they are about to take action regarding something crucial. The scene shifts to an ice statue of a black dragon, placed on an altar, glowing with an eerie blue light. A description panel reveals that this statue was crafted by Kaiser Fraken and modeled after Alien Fraken. The statue's primary material was sourced from the Blue Penguin Kingdom, suggesting its immense value and a deeper connection to the tower's history. The ice statue of the black dragon glows ominously atop its pedestal. The exquisite craftsmanship makes the figure look grand and imposing, reflecting an aura of power and mystery. A magical energy surrounds it, suggesting it holds special significance beyond just being a statue. Without hesitation, the black dragon, the tower manager in their true form, destroys the ice statue in a swift and decisive action. The impact is powerful, shattering the frozen sculpture into fragments of glimmering ice, as if clearing away something no longer needed. Instead of leaving the pedestal empty, the black dragon places something new in its place, a cute, neatly wrapped package of dried sweet potatoes, the very same gift Seijun had made for them. The contrast between the fearsome dragon and the adorable gift is striking, showcasing an unexpected side to the tower manager. As the tower manager gazes at the gift, they recognize that the previous statue wasn't just an ordinary sculpture. It was a powerful preservation magic spell. This realization makes it clear that the statue had been protecting or sealing something important. Despite its destruction, the tower manager chooses not to restore it, instead leaving Seijun's gift as a replacement. Rather than eating the dried sweet potatoes as one might expect, the tower manager decides to keep the gift instead. The fact that they choose to preserve it rather than consume it suggests emotional significance, perhaps even sentimentality towards Seijun and the meaning behind the gift. Now, feeling curious, the tower manager turns their attention to Seijun, deciding to check on him using the crystal ball. Their interest in Seijun seems to be growing, not just as a participant in the tower, but as someone truly worth keeping an eye on. The tower manager, in their black dragon form, observes Seijun through the crystal ball, finding the scene amusing. Seijun is seen casually relaxing, lying down with his rabbits peacefully around him, seemingly oblivious to any potential dangers. The black dragon comments on the irony of Seijun taking it easy while surrounded by numerous dangers, acknowledging the contrast between his peaceful state and the chaotic nature of the tower. As the tower manager continues watching, she suddenly noticed something shocking. Her eyes widen in surprise and concern, and her confident demeanor shifts. Something unusual has caught their attention, making them realize something significant. Meanwhile, Seijun remains completely unaware, still lying comfortably on a large flat stone with his rabbits resting beside him. The scene is calm and peaceful, in stark contrast to the tower manager's growing unease. A blue system message abruptly pops up in Seijun's vision, urgently instructing him to wake up, wake up, wake up. The sudden warning causes him to become alert, indicating that something dangerous or important is happening. Seijun, now sitting up, looks confused and concerned as he tries to understand what's happening. He questions what's wrong, clearly unaware of what the tower manager just saw. The system notification reveals that the tower manager is reacting this way for the first time. They are shocked and genuinely concerned about something. This unusual response from the tower manager suggests that whatever they just discovered is extremely serious and unprecedented. Seijun sits peacefully with a rabbit beside him, gazing up at the bright blue sky through the hole in his cave. The sunlight streams down, creating a tranquil atmosphere. He seems relaxed, unaware of the looming danger. Suddenly, Seijun senses something is wrong. He turns his head with a startled expression, feeling an unsettling presence nearby. His eyes widen in shock as he realizes a monster is approaching. Fear and urgency take over as he instinctively reacts to the unexpected threat. The large red bear from before appears, its massive paw stepping forward aggressively. A blue system notification pops up, warning the bear to go away. This suggests that the tower manager or the system itself is trying to prevent the bear from getting too close to Sejun. The bear, confused by the sudden system message, lets out a startled "Quang?" Its posture suggests hesitation, as if it doesn't understand why it's being warned away. The bear still takes a step forward, causing rocks to crumble beneath its weight. The tension builds as it seemingly ignores the warning. Sejun, now fully alarmed, dashes toward the bear while shouting, "Wait!" His body language suggests that he's trying to stop something from happening, either preventing the bear from leaving or ensuring the situation doesn't escalate further. Sejun rushes forward, reaching out just in time as the small red creature falls through the air. His arms are extended, ready to catch whatever is dropping from above. Sejun successfully catches the creature in his arms. A sense of urgency and surprise is clear in his stance as he firmly grabs hold of it, preventing it from hitting the ground. Sejun, still processing what just happened, looks down at the creature in his arms. Confusion is evident on his face as he wonders what exactly just fell into his grasp. A system message appears, identifying the creature as a baby crimson giant bear. This confirms that the falling creature is not just any wild animal, but a young member of a powerful species. The small crimson bear cub looks up at Sejun with big, round, and teary eyes, its innocent gaze making it appear completely helpless and adorable. It lets out a soft, questioning "Quang?" showing that it's equally confused by the situation. A massive figure looms in the shadows, its presence almost suffocating. The crimson giant bear, an apex predator of the tower, stands under the dim glow of the blue moon, its piercing blue eyes glowing in the darkness. The thick red fur, the sheer size of its frame, and the way its sharp fangs glint under the moonlight. Everything about it radiates danger. The weight of its gaze alone is enough to make any creature freeze in place. But despite its fearsome appearance, its young are shockingly small, tiny, soft, and helpless. The contradiction is almost laughable. A beast capable of striking terror into the hearts of adventurers has cubs that could be mistaken for plush toys. The absurdity lingers in the air, but Sejun doesn't have the luxury of dwelling on it. The baby bear squirms, letting out a small, clueless sound. Its tiny paws flail slightly, as if asking for attention. The big, round eyes look up at Sejun, filled with pure innocence and trust, completely oblivious to the storm brewing around them. It doesn't understand the danger. Sejun's grip remains firm, but his mind races. The cub is fragile, something that shouldn't be left alone to fend for itself. Letting it fall would have been cruel, too dangerous. His conscience wouldn't allow it. But now, he's holding something that could get him killed. A sudden blue system notification appears in his vision. The tower manager's warning is sharp and direct. This isn't a joke. The crimson giant bear's presence is real, and it's looking for its young. The moment carries weight. This is an emergency. Another alert follows immediately, even more urgent than the first. The message confirms the worst. The mother is nearby. Too close. Too dangerous. Sejun doesn't have time to hesitate. If he doesn't act now, this situation could spiral into something far beyond his control. Sejun kneels on the ground, gently placing the baby crimson giant bear down in front of him. His brows are furrowed in thought, his hands still lingering on the cub's soft fur. His expression shows uncertainty. Even if he lets it go now, the situation isn't that simple. His gaze shifts toward the small, round figure in front of him. The cub is too little, too fragile. A tinge of doubt clouds his mind. Is it really okay to send it off on its own? His hesitation is clear as he looks at the other rabbits nearby, as if seeking reassurance. The realization settles in. If he sends the cub away alone, anything could happen before its mother finds it. The forest is dangerous, and even with its species' reputation, a baby this small could become vulnerable prey. Letting its mother come pick it up directly seems like the safer option. A sudden blue system notification appears, interrupting his thoughts. The tower manager delivers a blunt warning. The crimson giant bear is a gluttonous monster. If its mother enters the cave, it won't stop at picking up its cub. It will eat all the food inside as well. Sejun's head tilts slightly, his disbelief evident. The crimson giant bear is enormous, powerful, and intimidating, but considering its size, he didn't expect it to be this much of a menace. The idea of the bear devouring everything he has worked for hits him harder than the initial fear of facing it. Meanwhile, the baby bear happily waddles away, letting out an innocent cry. It playfully raises its tiny arms, approaching the black rabbit, seemingly oblivious to the tense situation. The black rabbit watches cautiously, its ears twitching in response to the cub's sudden enthusiasm. The contrast between the growing tension and the carefree nature of the cub makes the moment almost surreal. The black rabbit nudges the baby crimson bear, chirping softly. The cub blinks, tilting its head before letting out a small cry in response. The baby bear waddles forward, joining the other rabbits. The white rabbits hop around it, curious but unbothered. A deep buzzing sound suddenly fills the air. A massive shadow looms overhead. The queen bee appears, her glowing red eyes locked onto the cub. Her large, sharp mandibles click, and her swarm gathers behind her. The baby bear freezes for a moment before charging forward, completely unaware of the danger. Its tiny paws kick up dirt as it moves toward the queen bee. The queen bee descends, her stingers glowing menacingly. The swarm follows, filling the sky. The baby bear lets out a panicked cry as the queen looms over it. Sejun turns around quickly, startled by the loud buzzing growing closer. The queen bee and her swarm approach, their glowing red eyes locked onto the baby crimson bear. The cub, sensing danger, lets out a panicked cry and starts running towards Sejun. Sejun instinctively kneels down, catching the frightened cub in his arms. His expression remains calm but focused as the queen bee and her bees hover close, still on alert. The baby bear trembles, clearly overwhelmed by the sudden encounter. Sejun raises a hand slowly, speaking in a gentle tone as he tries to de-escalate the situation. The bees remain tense, their bodies still glowing slightly with energy, but they don't immediately attack. As Sejun soothes the cub, he realizes that the bees likely reacted aggressively because the bear approached too suddenly, triggering their defensive instincts. He observes the queen bee closely, noting that she seems drawn to the bear's scent, as if something about it interests her. Sejun looks at the queen bee, his expression turning thoughtful. After a moment, he speaks directly to her, asking for a favor. The queen bee tilts her head slightly, as if considering his words, while the smaller bees hover beside her, waiting for her response. The queen bee hovers in place, her glowing purple eyes narrowing slightly. A thick golden drop of honey forms at the tip of her stinger, glowing with an almost magical luster. Her movements remain elegant yet controlled, as if testing the waters before making a decision. Sejun, maintaining his calm demeanor, gently extends the honey toward the baby crimson bear. His expression is relaxed, his voice steady, as he encourages the cub to try it. The golden nectar drips slightly, its scent filling the air. As Sejun watches the baby bear's reaction, he connects the pieces. The baby crimson bear must have been drawn to this scent, explaining her interest in the situation. His confidence grows as he realizes that the queen bee offering could be the key to resolving the tension. The scene relaxes, the queen bee perched comfortably on Sejun's shoulder, a clear sign that she has accepted his presence. The baby bear licks at the honey, its tiny paws clinging onto Sejun as it enjoys the treat. The rabbits watch curiously, their ears twitching at the odd sight. Sejun chuckles, noting how naturally bears are drawn to honey. The playful atmosphere returns, easing the lingering tension from earlier. The queen bee remains by his side, seemingly satisfied with how things have unfolded. Sejun watches as the baby crimson bear finishes the honey, licking its tiny paws with satisfaction. The queen bee remains perched on his shoulder, calm and unbothered. A small blue system notification appears, signaling that something is about to happen. The baby bear lets out a happy cry, clearly enjoying the taste. Sejun, amused, tilts his head slightly, speaking to it in a gentle, teasing tone, asking if it wants more. Suddenly, the blue system notification expands, flashing a series of glowing symbols. The atmosphere shifts slightly, and the screen begins to update, something more significant forming before Sejun's eyes. Sejun's eyes widen, confusion flickering across his face. The notification flashes aggressively, its presence more forceful than usual. Something unexpected is happening. The notification fully loads, revealing a new quest with bold, urgent lettering. The message is clear. Sejun must send the baby crimson giant bear out of the cave. The reward is a job skill, but the punishment is severe. Starvation upon rejection. The menacing red text emphasizes that there is no room for negotiation. A low, ominous hum fills the air, a clear sign of the tower manager's displeasure. A blue system notification appears, stating outright, the tower manager is angry at the baby crimson giant bear. The atmosphere grows heavy, as if the very tower itself is responding to this anger. The baby bear lets out a confused cry, sensing the shift in the mood. Its tiny paws grip onto Sejun's shirt, seeking comfort. Sejun, clearly frustrated by the situation, looks up as if addressing the unseen tower manager, questioning the severity of its reaction. Sejun demands an explanation, struggling to understand why the tower manager is so hostile toward a baby. His gaze hardens as he wonders just how much the cub must eat to provoke this level of response. Another blue system notification appears, responding to Sejun's doubt. The tower manager insists that it is only chasing away potential threats, acting in Sejun's best interest as an inner farmer. Sejun scoffs at the explanation, calling out the tower manager for being too much. He reminds it that he wouldn't have even fallen into this cave if it hadn't surprised him first. His frustration is evident, though he's still holding onto the baby bear protectively. A final system message pops up, acknowledging that the tower manager admits its mistake, but now demands that Sejun listen and obey immediately. The wording carries an unmistakable urgency, making it clear that the situation isn't up for debate. Sejun glances down at the baby bear in his arms, his grip unconsciously tightening. His mind lingers on the word from the notification. Mistake. He mutters it to himself, his expression unreadable. The baby bear remains nestled against him, unaware of the weight of the moment. Sejun sits on the ground, his hand resting gently on the baby crimson bear's back. His gaze drifts upward toward the open sky above the cave, the sunlight casting a soft glow around him. His expression is distant, as if lost in thought. A blue system notification appears, confirming that the tower manager is forcing him to make a decision. The tone is firm, reminding him that this situation isn't something he can just ignore. Sejun remains seated, the baby bear still clinging to him. A sense of hesitation lingers, his body language showing his reluctance to act too quickly. A few feet away, the black rabbit and the white rabbit stand silently watching him. Their small, round bodies are still, as if sensing the weight of the moment. The queen bee hovers nearby, her large golden wings beating steadily. Her presence remains calm but attentive, her sharp eyes observing both Sejun and the baby bear. The bees beside her maintain a neutral stance, neither aggressive nor retreating. The tower manager, in its black dragon form, watches over a glowing crystal ball, its piercing blue eyes reflecting the light. The atmosphere is tense, as if it is carefully observing Sejun's actions from afar. The focus shifts to the dragon's eye, glowing intensely with a mix of frustration and intrigue. It watches closely, seemingly conflicted about what is unfolding before it. A blue system notification appears, delivering a sharp yet unexpected message. The tower manager has given up on interfering and tells Sejun to do whatever he wants. The sudden shift in tone makes it clear that the dragon is done arguing. Sejun, still seated with the baby bear in his lap, raises an eyebrow at the message. He questions just how much this tiny cub must eat for the tower manager to react so strongly. His tone is almost teasing, sensing a hint of jealousy from the dragon. With a sigh, Sejun reluctantly agrees to send the baby bear away, but only when he decides the time is right. His tone is firm, making it clear that he won't just toss the cub out immediately. He shifts his focus back to the baby bear, gently patting it on the back. His voice turns softer, reassuring the cub that the scary presence is gone and that it can stand up again. The baby bear blinks in confusion, tilting its head as if it doesn't fully understand what just happened. The baby crimson bear sits still, its eyes slowly drooping shut. Its small body sways slightly before it completely falls asleep, its expression peaceful. Sejun raises an eyebrow, watching the cub in mild disbelief. He wasn't expecting it to doze off so easily, especially after all the chaos. A small smile tugs at Sejun's lips as he finds the situation amusing. The cub's tiny snores and round, relaxed face make it look even cuter than before. He chuckles, deciding that it can stay in the cave for the night. The view shifts upward, showing the bright sky through the cave's opening. Sunlight filters in, casting a warm glow over the rocky walls. Seijun's calm voice lingers in the air, deciding that he'll send the cub back tomorrow. Seijun stretches out on a bed of grass, completely relaxed, his arm resting over his head. His breathing slows, and within moments he falls asleep too, his mouth slightly open, a hint of drool escaping. The peaceful atmosphere settles in, as both man and cub drift into slumber. Seijun is completely knocked out, lying on the soft grass bedding with his arms stretched out. His mouth is slightly open, and the sound of gentle snoring fills the air as he drifts into deep sleep. The baby crimson bear, now fully asleep, shifts slightly. A small crunching noise echoes from nearby, subtle but distinct enough to be noticed. The black rabbit, resting near its burrow entrance, suddenly stirs. Its ears twitch, sensing something unusual. The black rabbit freezes mid-movement, its eyes snapping open wide in pure shock. Its fur stands on end, and its mouth hangs open, revealing tiny sharp teeth. A sudden realization hits it like a bolt of lightning. The black rabbit frantically cries out, its small body shaking with urgency. Its eyes remain wide, filled with alarm as it desperately tries to wake Seijun up. Seijun, still half asleep, groggily lifts his head, rubbing his eyes. His expression is dazed, still processing the sudden commotion happening around him. A loud crashing sound echoes through the cave, snapping Seijun fully awake. His body tenses, the noise far too intense to ignore. His eyebrows furrow, confusion flashing across his face. He slowly sits up, his mind catching up to the situation. His first thought is the baby crimson bear, wondering where it went. Standing up, he looks toward the rabbits, who are now gathered together, anxiously chirping at him. The black rabbit takes the lead, its eyes burning with frustration as it gestures frantically towards something. Seijun's eyes widen in shock, his jaw dropping slightly. Something is very wrong. A pile of vegetables is scattered across the ground, half-eaten and torn apart. Carrots, sweet potatoes, and other crops lie discarded, their remains indicating that someone, or something, raided the food storage. A trail of destruction stretches further, leading deeper into the farm. The crops in the area have been trampled, their leaves bent and crushed under careless movements. The damage is fresh, the dirt still shifting from recent activity. The baby crimson bear stands in the middle of the chaos, its cheeks stuffed with food. Crumbs and bits of vegetables stick to its fur, and its paws clutch a half-eaten sweet potato. It lets out a small, questioning sound, completely unaware of the mess it has made. Seijun's shout echoes through the cave, realization hitting him like a hammer. His eyes widen in horror as he processes the state of the food storage. Seijun stands frozen in shock, his eyes locked onto the disaster before him. The rabbits line up beside him, their small bodies tense with outrage as they take in the ruined food storage. The black rabbit furiously gestures, loudly complaining about the damage done. Its tiny paws wave in frustration, its expression filled with pure indignation as it scolds the culprit. The white rabbits join in, chirping angrily at the mess. The baby crimson bear lets out a startled cry, backing away as the rabbits advance toward it. Its small paws shuffle, and it looks genuinely confused, not understanding why everyone is suddenly so upset. Seijun crouches down, surveying the extent of the damage. His expression tightens as he realizes the severity of the situation. Nearly a third of the stored sweet potatoes and carrots are gone. He notices something odd. Despite the bear's rampage through the storage, it didn't touch the cherry tomatoes at all. His eyes narrow slightly as he processes this detail. The black rabbit continues chirping aggressively, clearly demanding justice for the stolen food. The white rabbits nod in agreement, backing up their leader's complaints. Before Seijun can say anything, the baby bear suddenly panics and charges straight toward him, its round body barreling forward at full speed. Seijun flinches, caught off guard by the sudden movement. The baby crimson bear clings onto Seijun, its small paws grasping his shirt. Its round body feels noticeably heavier, and as Seijun lifts it slightly, he pauses in shock. Seijun's eyes widen, his expression turning to disbelief. The bear is much bigger than before, far larger than it was yesterday. Something isn't right. A chilling realization creeps in as Seijun processes what's happening. The mysterious energy of the tower has always influenced growth. Eating accelerates development here. This isn't an ordinary baby. It's growing rapidly just from eating. A blue system message appears, reinforcing his fears. The crimson giant bear is a massive eater. If left unchecked, it will consume everything in the cave. The tower manager had warned him. Sejun's face tightens, sweat forming at his temple. Panic sets in as the truth becomes undeniable. He should have listened. Letting the cub stay overnight was a terrible mistake. Another system notification pops up, warning that the bear cubs of this species continue growing at an alarming rate as long as they eat. There's no limit to how fast they can develop in the right conditions. Sejun snaps his head up, his expression filled with urgency. He shouts for the tower manager, fully realizing that he's in deep trouble. Sejun lowers his head slightly, his expression awkward as he mutters an apology to the tower manager. His tone is genuine but hesitant, clearly regretting his earlier defiance. A blue system message appears, reassuring him that the tower manager doesn't mind anymore since he has apologized. The tension from before seems to ease slightly. Sejun scratches his head, feeling a bit embarrassed. He realizes that the tower manager might have been jealous of the attention he gave the baby bear. He hadn't even considered that possibility. The system interrupts, shifting the focus back to the problem at hand. A new notification appears, emphasizing that what matters most right now is sending the baby crimson giant bear away. Sejun hesitates, his gaze shifting to the cub, which continues to stare up at him innocently. He knows what needs to be done, but there's a problem. He looks up at the bright blue sky through the cave's opening, his mind racing. His thoughts come together into a single frustrated question. How is he supposed to send the bear away? The baby crimson bear sits still, looking slightly confused as it is now tightly wrapped in thick vines. The makeshift harness binds its arms and torso, securing it snugly while still allowing it to move its legs. The bear blinks innocently, unaware of what's about to happen. Sejun steps back to inspect his work, ensuring the bindings are secure. He gives the cub a few pats, as if reassuring it before the next step. The surrounding rabbits and the queen bee watch attentively, waiting for his signal. Satisfied, Sejun raises his hand and calls out to the rabbits positioned above the cave opening. The black rabbit and white rabbit stand ready, gripping the other end of the vine rope. Their ears perk up, alert, and prepared to follow through. Sejun shouts the command, signaling the start of the lifting operation. The rabbits tense, their bodies ready to pull the baby bear up toward the cave opening. The baby crimson bear is lifted off the ground, dangling awkwardly in the air. Its round body sways slightly, and its paws twitch in confusion as it slowly ascends toward the cave's opening. The rabbits above pull with all their strength, their small bodies tense and focused as they work together. The black rabbit leads the effort, gripping the vine tightly as it coordinates the team effort. Sejun stands below, watching proudly as the rabbits lift the cub higher and higher. He cheers them on, shouting encouragement while ensuring the operation goes smoothly. The bright sky frames the cave opening, sunlight shining down as the cub gets closer to reaching the top. The rabbits continue pulling in unison, their coordinated rhythm keeping the process steady. The baby crimson bear panics, its tiny legs flailing in the air as it is lifted higher. Its round eyes widen, and it lets out distressed cries, clearly confused about what's happening. Sejun calmly reaches out, his hand holding a golden drop of honey, its rich glow reflecting the light. He offers it gently, attempting to soothe the cub. With a warm smile, Sejun reassures the baby bear. His voice is soft but firm, telling the cub that it's time to return to its mother. His expression remains gentle, showing that he isn't sending it away out of anger, but because it's what's best. Sejun stands below, raising a hand in farewell as the baby crimson bear is lifted higher, nearing the top of the cave. His expression is light-hearted, as if seeing off a mischievous friend. The baby bear clutches the honey in its paws, its eyes round with emotion as it lets out one final cry of farewell. The moment feels bittersweet, but there is no turning back now. A blue system notification appears, confirming the completion of the quest. As a reward, Sejun gains a new job skill, Seed Gathering LV-1. The system details the skill's effect. It slightly increases the chance of obtaining better seeds when harvesting crops. It's a valuable ability for someone managing a farm in the tower. Looking at his team of rabbits and the queen bee, Sejun smiles warmly, acknowledging their effort. He praises them, genuinely impressed with how well they all work together. A low, rumbling sound breaks the quiet moment, making Sejun and the rabbits pause. It's unmistakable. Someone's stomach is growling. Sejun turns his head slightly, glancing at the rabbits as if trying to figure out whose stomach just betrayed them. The rabbits look back at him, their ears twitching. Sejun scratches his head, realizing that after all the effort of sending the baby bear away, they haven't eaten anything yet. He suggests having some cherry tomatoes, a simple but refreshing snack. A time skip is indicated, and the scene changes. A few days later, the farm looks lush and thriving. The cherry tomato plants are full, their red fruit hanging in clusters, ripe for picking. Above Sejun and the rabbits, an enormous figure blocks out the sky, its silhouette overpowering the entire landscape. The once calm farm is now bathed in eerie darkness, signaling that something terrifying has arrived. A familiar cry rings out. Quang! Sejun jerks his head up, spotting the baby crimson bear at the edge of the cave, peering down at him. The ground rumbles, a deep, foreboding vibration spreading across the farm. The baby bear shifts excitedly, its round body bouncing slightly, completely unaware of the tension below. Then, from behind the cub, a massive shape emerges. A crimson giant bear, its towering form blocking out the sky. The baby bear stands beside it, looking down with excitement, as if introducing its mother. Sejun's face locks up, his entire body freezing. His eyes widen, pupils shrinking as the sheer size of the mother bear registers. A nervous smile creeps onto his face, but it's clear. He's panicking. His mind scrambles for a plan, but nothing comes to him. His throat tightens, and before he can fully process the situation, one word escapes from his lips. Shit. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our next exciting recap. New videos will drop